All right. Super excited. We got a lit panel tonight. Joel says with the big five, nothing more unattractive than a woman who has had work done. As the man said, I love you just the way you are. Shout out to you, Joel. Thank you for that. All right. Spin. Thank you so much for getting our panel opened up. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Number one, my first question is cancel culture. Should we give up the concept of freedom of speech? I know that the law does have some pieces built in of things you can't do because it's threatening someone or so on and so forth. But if you had your way, could we be able to just cancel people out, throw them in jail for saying certain things, or even so far as booting them out of our country, so on and so forth? Go ahead, Spin.
I'm a very firm believer in the First Amendment, and I don't think we should, or one should be inhibited in freedom of speech. But what that piece of shit did and what the piece of shit said, I would go along with he needs to be deplatformed and deported. That's my opinion.
Okay. And by deplatform, you mean you think that the sponsors should stop sponsoring him?
Absolutely.
And like Twitch, YouTube, so on and so forth should all just ban him off their platforms?
Absolutely. And I have been following this a little bit. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, hell yes.
Now, second question, do you as an influencer, I mean, you have a channel, Spin, do we as influencers have a duty to society to be mindful that we have the power to steer people in one direction or another?
Well, I would say yes. I mean, I'm almost now to 3,000 subs. Not that it matters. I mean, your channel is much bigger than mine, but I believe we have a duty, and I'm gonna, if I can circle Clay in on this for just a second. I think us as influence should always be mindful of the ramifications. However, we as influencers and people that have a voice on YouTube or wherever you may stream to, I feel that we have a duty to inform people of the radical reactions or the radical things that people say, and let them make a choice whether they want to
that was dope, man.
Unsubscribe, or I hate to bring this up, but a situation much like your own a little bit, Sarah. I think that was wrong. You don't do that to people. Let other people choose. You never want to try to influence a crowd, because in the end it normally backfires, if that makes any sense.
You put it very well. Let a motherfucker put the information out there and let a person make their own choice. You said that very well. Let them make
their own choice, whether they want to. You're right. You're right, Joe, and thank you. It's not okay.
Well, what if you incite
Well,
harm?
coercion is never good, right? Coercing somebody, into doing something, like brainwashing them, and
we're gonna do one at a time.
I'm sorry, I can't lose the thought.
Go ahead.
Joe and whoever said what they just said, yes, coercion is a big thing. And Sarah, please ask your question one more time. I apologize.
What if they incite or provoke utilize their influence to tell people to do something, tell people to harm someone?
Can I take this
Whether it be physical, well, we're going to go one at a time where everybody's going to have their opportunity to answer the questions.
I will never advocate for anybody to impose violence in a physical aspect. you know, the First Amendment's a bitch, but there is a line. So the insatiation or the incitement of that in itself is a crime.
Okay. All right. Fair
That's
enough.
my opinion.
Mhm. Yep.
And may
Legally
I
it
also
is. Legally
say
it
this?
is.
Can I say one more thing?
Yep.
Just very recently, somebody had done something to me and they paid very dearly. So it is possible that that happens.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
It is our duty, yes, to inform, but not coerce or plant the seed, if that makes sense.
Yes, it makes sense. Thank you, Spin. Thank you, Spin.
Hey,
All right.
Steve.
Adam Scott, you are next, sir. What are your thoughts on free speech, cancel culture? Should we deplatform people? Should we promote the idea of deplatforming people? What you got for us?
Well, when it comes to like Hassan, yeah, he needs to definitely be deplatformed. When you're calling for people to go out and spill capitalist blood in the streets, I think that is as extreme as you can get. You know, and I don't think that's good. You're like, Spin really said it the best way any of us could, to be honest. You're planting an idea in people's heads, like you even said, Sarah, that might be looking for someone because they got nobody else. So they latch onto this thing and they feel a part of something.
Mm-hmm.
So they give it their all. And then they hear this person who they admire, they respect, and in some ways love. It may be a twisted love. They go out and do heinous things in that name.
Okay.
But I don't think I could put it any more eloquently than Spin has.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. And then what are your thoughts on, do influencers have a duty of care to the people watching them?
Absolutely. I mean, within reason, though, you can't control what other people do. And like Spin said, you can present the information, they can make their own opinion. But I think it's on the influencer to absolutely say, hey, I'm just presenting information to you. These are some of the facts that are pertaining to this thing. You make your own decision. Don't take my word for anything. These are just my opinions, not yours. I don't want you to take my thought as your thought. Make your own decisions.
All right. Perfect. Well said. And shout out to James Humber with the big 5 over on the Buy Me a Coffee app. Says cool vibes. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Love all around. Okay, Clay, you were next up. Give me your initial thoughts. Freedom of speech. Where's the line? Cancel culture. What can we do?
First off, I just want to give a shout out to Effigy. I know he's going off in the chat. Don't worry, my brother. I am here. Okay. I know we don't agree on a lot of things, but this right here, I'm gonna come in with some NAACP. The Claiborne Hardware Company in the Supreme Court, 1982, rules that a speaker cannot be held liable for the independent, violent acts of third parties who claim inspiration from generalized rhetoric. It also insulates controversial public figures from the legal consequences of actions taken by rogue, radicalized listeners. Now, this is from the Supreme Court. This is what they have ruled. Typically, the restrictions of your rights here in America come from conservatives. The conservative judges, the liberal judges, tend to preserve or strengthen your rights in the Supreme Court. This is just a pretty much standard operation. Now, I don't necessarily agree with the liberal principles in what I ought do. This is what is, right? So in this country, we have differentiated, I think, very well in the philosophy, in the thought of what the is versus the ought is. within the law. We leave a lot to the people, which is a good thing. We ought to leave more, in my opinion, to the people. But if I were to say to someone, that some guy screaming to high heaven out in the middle of the neighborhood ought have a bucket of piss thrown on his head, and that I wouldn't call the police, most people would probably agree with me on that. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't call the police if and in fact he did get a bucket of piss on his head. This is just me. I believe in the fact that people typically can resolve these things, these matters, without the police. It may end up with a bucket of piss on somebody's head. But that does not give credence to someone claiming that because I said that, now that they've committed assault, battery if they're diseased, deadly battery, whatever that crime may be. I did not do that. That person, in fact, is responsible for their own actions. So with that said, I would say what I might approve of, disapprove of, but I am responsible for my own actions. Now, in the world of free speech, I'm also responsible for what I say. Now, with that comes, Uncle Ben, responsibility, right? Great responsibility. So the things I say may, in fact, affect what people say or do in the future as well. So principally, not within the realm of the law or what's legal, but principally, I ought do or say the right thing.
Okay. All right. And that kind of tapped into, do influencers have a duty of care?
Perfect. Yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly. I just want to, I want to make sure that it's understood that, again, my words, I can't claim, put it this way, the Supreme Court has made ruling. Their ruling has no bearing on my words or actions, right? Mm-hmm. So my words or actions, while legal or not legal, even though the Supreme Court has made a ruling, has absolutely zero bearing even within their own legal ruling.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Crow, you were next up. Give us your thoughts, sir. Is there, should we just promote free speech all the way around? Should we deplatform people? Should we stop people from doing these things? Or is promoting socialism a terrorist? So on and so forth. Go ahead, Crow.
Hey, what's up, sir? How you doing? Yeah, I don't believe in free speech. I don't even believe in the amendments. I think we should abolish it all. Mm-hmm. No, I'm joking. Clearly, I'm joking. You had to know. No, I was joking. No,
I was like, really? Like,
this must be Crap Big's brother. No,
sir, I love you, but I was about to attack.
I know. I was like, I guess this will be good for later. Go ahead,
Crap. Read my mind, Sarah.
Yeah, you see my background there. Just generated for the calls. Yeah, I'm a firm believer in the First Amendment. So, I mean, we all agreed so far. Hopefully, we get some opposition. So, not to ride anybody what they've said already. I'll add the only thing freedom of speech doesn't cover, and rightfully so, is when your words develop actions, more specifically, violent actions, or if you make threats that can lead to violent actions, because then those are no longer words. They manifest into tangible stuff, right. What I mean? Right. But yeah, I can say whatever to, whoever, as long as I don't threaten them or anything like that can cause harm on them or make them cause harm on somebody else through my words, not how they take my words, because their feelings are too soft. But yeah, other than that, I agree in the First Amendment.
Okay. Fair enough. And do influencers have a duty of care?
Yeah. I believe they do to a certain point, but at the end of the day, they're not responsible for the people that watch them. They should be clear on their views and not promote propaganda like the NBC does. But at the end of the day, they're not responsible for other people.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Thank you, Crowton. Steve, I think, just stepped away for a second. We'll come back to him after. Bane Bear, what are your initial thoughts? Free speech, deplatforming, cancel culture? Where are we at?
Well, thanks for having me on. Let's go back to before the free speech. Your crow's feet are amazing. And I'm 48 years old. I couldn't date a woman that was under 35. You have to have a little bit of crow's feet to show that.
That just heard what he said.
Proof of life.
Damn.
No, for real. I'm not simping. I just was saying that as a joke, but also as a compliment. But my thoughts are on this: is that if you had to go like the logical Jordan Peterson way of thought about it, what, like, and this is what I mean by this: is that if you're in a crowded theater and you think it's funny to holler the word fire, it's no longer free speech. Like the previous man said, it's a call to action. All right. And just like, if you
that's not the fire in a crowded theater ruling. I'm sorry. It's not. It's not.
I know. Let him, hold on, Steve. Steve, you can 100%, I will let you, Steve, date the shit out of him. Let him get, if it's, I know what you're saying, Steve. I 100% know exactly what you're talking about, but let him get his thoughts out.
Respectfully, I've been quiet for 13 minutes and I have not interrupted a single guest.
Well, why would it be illegal if it wasn't a bad thing?
Hold on. Everybody stop. This is round robin style. We're just going to go one at a time first, and then we'll open up the floor 100%, okay? Let Bane Bear get his thoughts on this. That's why we let everyone get their thoughts out, and you can sit there and you can take notes, and then when I say, all right, we're full open floor, you can strike, okay, and attack. Go ahead, Bane Bear. Finish your thoughts.
I didn't interrupt the 5 people before me, and I find it difficult. So I'll give it 1 minute, and then I'll close off so somebody else can join the panel, and you can boot me in about a minute. But the fact of the matter is that the same reason that you can't yell fire in a crowded theater is the same reason that I don't want some creepy senior citizen on a corner with a bullhorn screaming, "I want to make love to a young boy," right? And I'm a small content creator. I've got 2,200 followers. I do stand-up comedy. I've had death threats. I've had people tell me that I should shoot my son and then put the shotgun in my own mouth. Like, I mean, yeah, you're gonna, and listen, I've said every illegal word on stage you can imagine, including blank and blank and blank and blank and blank. And out of respect for your channel, I wouldn't say those here.
Right.
But in June of 2022, there was remember Roe v. Wade was overturned and they left it up to the states, right? I went to a comedy show and I sat there through 14 comics that all had pro-choice, pro-death, baby murder. I get turned on when a man has a vasectomy, like all these different jokes. I didn't get mad. I didn't laugh, but I didn't leave. I didn't write a blog about it, but I'm a pro-life comic and I got on stage and did a pro-life joke about how my buddy got his girlfriend pregnant after I made them laugh at a show. And I said, well, to date, my jokes have created more life than your jokes will ever kill. And then I twirled the mic and I offended so many people. I got booted from that club by the comedy. And I was like, what happened to actual free speech? And he said, well, it's one thing if you offend the comics. It's another thing if you offend the staff. But when you offend both, I have to take action. So I got punished for something that he wasn't even there for.
So essentially, yeah. So I kind of poked at that in the beginning, that a private platform, they can boot you all they want. They have the ability to do so. Even if you think it's stupid, they were offended by it. They were snowflakes about it. And they said, you know what, we don't want you back anymore. They can absolutely do that. They're within their rights. It's a private club. But can you still go out on the street corner and say that joke out loud? Absolutely. So let me ask you this. You as an influencer, as a comedian, do you have a duty of care for what you put out there and what you promote?
Absolutely. My 18-year-old son, my 21-year-old daughter, and my mid-70s parents watch my content. Of course. But at the same time, it's just like, if I say a joke and you go out and commit a violent crime, there is an aspect of choice there. But I will say on, and then we'll end it. And I'm not tech savvy, Sarah, so you're going to have to boot me after this because I can't log off. But I'll say this. Hasan shocked his dog live on stream, said we deserve 9/11, doxed a senator that he was happy about getting resigned because he was getting so many death threats. It's like, if you don't like America, there are 5 or 6 other countries you can go to where they speak English and they'll take your money and they'll accept you for the human growth hormone biolab. Hassan has soft hands. I'm a plumber. I promise you, get me in an MMA ring with Hassan and I will school his ass. Even at the age of 48, he has soft female hands.
Oh, goodness.
Takes testosterone. All right, Sarah, you know I love you. I hope you have a good night. I love your stream. You know I support you. I hope you have a great summer, okay?
Thank you, Bane Bear. We love you. Thanks for joining. I'm going to go ahead and boot you. All right, Steve, we had to skip you because you had to step away for a second, but I know you've got lots to say on this particular topic. So, all right, free speech. At what point are we drawing the line? Is there a line? Should we deplatform people? Cancel culture. Go.
No, of course you shouldn't deplatform people. And no, there isn't a line for free speech because ostensibly we're adults. Now, here's the fundamental, I guess, like berm that nearly everyone here needs to get over. And that's HASAN PIKER is a character. He's a construct. He's a Nepo baby whose uncle is Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks. And HASAN PIKER was placed in an influencer role almost 12 years ago, maybe a little bit more than 12 years ago. HASAN PIKER and Megyn Kelly shared the same ad agency. This is a marketing campaign to generate outrage from partisan hack idiots who still think that there's a right and a left in this country. What you're seeing in HASAN PIKER is no different than you would see from any other actor on any other stage in any other situation. And the fact that this freaking clown, mental freaking midget has anybody's panties twisted is a testament to your own gullibility and your own partisan stupidity. There is no right and left. There is no Republican or Democrat. There is one uniparty that works in lockstep to enslave everybody, and it's playing out every single day while all of these idiots are just glued to the taints of morons in order to get their talking points for the day. Oh, my right-wing buddy says this. Oh, my left-wing friend says. You're a bunch of actual clowns and puppets, and you need to grow up a little bit, because the people in power, and definitely the people who are in perceived positions of power, don't care about you. And they're never going to care about you, and they're never going to care about your opinions. So that being said, Brandenburg versus Ohio in 1969 debunked fully the fire in a crowded theater myth. And every time I hear that from someone, I know that they're a surface level, I haven't looked beyond any of this crap idiot, and don't really deserve anything other than derision and mockery. Look, man, if you're not going to do the work, why show up? Why would you show up? And if you're going to show up having not done the work and you have your little surface level partisan hack take, that's great, but it does nothing other than reinforce the duopoly that hates you. Again, HASAN PIKER, scumbag, can't stand the dude, have had the misfortune of being in the same room as him one time. Just the same room, never fucking talked to the guy, not even the point. Like, the guy is a male model who they turned into a talking point generation factory in order to scoop up the tweens and the 17 to 20-year-olds who didn't go into the red pill. All right. It's one or the other. And don't pretend for a moment like you hypocritical fucking hacks don't have the exact same people on your side as the other team does. You come from the school of Rush Limbaugh. Rush Limbaugh, who I knew in real life and thought he was a great broadcaster, despicable human being, but fantastic broadcaster. One of the best in the game to do it ever. Rush Limbaugh routinely called for the execution of mothers who got abortions. And that was fine. That was okay. You could do that all day, every day on Rush's air. You could call for the execution of liberals writ large on Rush's air because it's partisan hackery. And I see my favorite partisan hack, Spin, who can't even think outside of his own fucking chair in order to see the world in a bigger picture, doing the fucking grabbler. You're doing the grabbler.
Because you're absolutely fucking wrong.
Hold on.
That's what I'm saying. Because you're a hack, so you can only interpret things through hack ears and a hack voice. You're a partisan hack. As long as you pull away from the two-party delusion, you can...
Here's your fucking...
No, Spin.
Now, I remember, Spin, when I got chastised for interrupting a little bit earlier. You're co-hosting this show right now. Take a fucking lap because you should be you should be on double probation for that.
That would be fucking news to me if he's co-hosting my show.
You're basically co-hosting. Take a fucking lap because you're on double probation.
You really turned into a tomato on that one.
Yeah, don't fuck me over on this one. He's definitely not co-hosting.
I thought you deferred to Spin a little bit earlier. I don't know. Balderson's not here. He's, Balderson's whatever. But
Spin paid for
Straight
the
up
open,
goofy, dude.
Spin paid for the open panel.
Oh, well, then you're a simp by all means. I'm sorry. Take a lap and be a simp.
Money is
Why are you messing with her money?
Hold on, let me go ahead and send
I'm not messing with your money. I'm addressing.
Hold on.
I'm addressing. That's not messing. Let's keep it a buck.
Don't fuck with my grift. Don't fuck with my grift.
Nobody's fucking with your grift. I'm addressing. I'm not dressing down. There's a difference. Acknowledgement isn't a derision. It's not.
You're monologuing.
He killed somebody.
I thought it was my 2.5 minutes to talk. I've been waiting an hour and a half. I thought I got that. Everybody else did. Why is it a problem when it's me?
You're killing. You're killing. You're making this the best day of my life. You're fucking killing.
Don't fuck with my grift. All right. All right. The next question for you, Steve, is do influencers have a duty of care for who they're influencing and what they're pushing out there?
Clearly not. So at what point, who am I to say, oh, now all of a sudden I have to be the law? No, because the reality that we live in is that they don't. We do have, to varying degrees, depending on what platform you're on and depending on what time of day it is, some modicum of what passes for a measure of free speech online, right? And there are varying degrees of controlled opportunists and people who just want to grift for a buck and people who just want to be partisan hacks and miss the entire fucking point over and over and over again in order to make a living. So clearly that standard doesn't exist. If the standard doesn't exist, then we need to address reality as it exists.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I think you have a very strong hold here, Steve. It's going to be an uphill battle, but you have a very strong hold. All right, let's move over to James. James, the initial question is free speech, cancel culture. Do we draw a line? What do we do with this, especially with influencers? What are we doing? Go to you, James.
Well, free speech does need to be amended because we've gotten pretty loose and we've gotten pretty comfortable. And the only people who cry about it are people who are using it to hurt other people. And they're using their platform to spew this hate. And as a result, you forget about this one very important element when you're just spewing off things. Stupid people. We've got a lot of them. And they're all sitting around waiting for you to say the right thing to tell them It's time for you to do that stupid thing that you've been waiting to do for a very long time. And one of us might be first on that list. Words influenced World War I and II. And people keep saying that it just might influence World War III. I know I'm going on the extreme, but I'm no stupid man. And I pay very close attention to what people are trying to do with words. I don't want people to feel comfortable saying things to me that's going to cause my day to sober. Some people say, well, what about your butthurt feelings and all that stuff? I say, well, you don't care about my feelings, but I do. And I have a bad temper. Okay. You know, I've got a bad temper. So if you say something and I'm in a wrong state of mind and now I'm in jail and you're no longer here, who's to blame? I would like to be able to live in a society where people are actually trying to be decent folks and actually not feeling comfortable saying things that's going to cause someone to mass shoot, because words influence mass. Just about every single mass shooter that's ever acted in the United States were influenced by words. And yeah, if you have a platform, in no way should you be able to spew hate. You know what that does. And everybody knows that if you say the wrong thing on your platform, it can cause a riot.
So you're a fascist.
People. We're not talking about logical people. We're not talking about intelligent people. We're not talking about the people on this panel. I'm giving you all the benefit of the doubt and say you're smart and decent folks. You won't be influenced by words. Words don't bother you, so you're good. But we're not talking about you. We're talking about stupid people. And there's a lot of them. They're all over the place. Some of them know they're stupid. Some of them are happy that they're stupid. Some of them are on the verge of becoming stupid because they just need you to say the right thing. And now their brain is tuned into thinking that these stupid thoughts are logical and they're going to act on them. So yeah, you should not sit there on a panel with massive amount of people and say whatever hell you want. You need to be deplatformed and punched in the face.
So fascism and violence is your answer.
Steve, I love you so much.
That was an evil laugh.
That's great.
You guys be careful when you toy with me, man. I'm not, you're going to get,
no, I'm not toying with you. You're a fascist. You're advocating fascism.
We're going to get to open mic, Steve. We're going to get to, just hang tight. I love you so much. This is why I fucking love you so much, but you got to love me back and listen. All right, Joe Cool, our 1A advocate, all up and down. I know you got a lot to say on this, sir. Yeah. All right, free speech, cancel culture. Where's the line, Joe? Is there a line?
Very good. First of all, oh my God, you guys are amazing. Fucking Spin, who I shit on way too much. Fucking, he got it right through the gate. At least in my opinion, you got to put the information out there. It's a must. Sarah, you're opening, you hinted toward all the right things. Fucking break. I'm forgetting now. And fucking Steve, you were off the chain. Somebody please post this link. This nigga's like, wow. And then there's James, which you totally changed everything I was going to say. James, I'm so glad you hopped up here. You will be the entertainment tonight when this shit opens up. I guarantee you all the questions will be directed your way, man. I think, James, I'm responding to you a bit, but this is my open shit. I think cats like you, James, are the end of fucking society. You are the cats who be like, oh, we shouldn't do that rock and roll and rap because it makes people violent. Video games kill. You one of them guys. That's what your line ends at. And personally, I think that all the information has, this is my belief before all of the stuff, beautiful things you said. I think that all the information is out here. I trust no one. I must make my own decisions. None of you are better or older or more capable than me. If some dude is out there spewing, I want to kill a small hats or the this and that, I need to hear it for myself. I'm sorry. Excuse me, Sarah. I need to hear that shit for myself. I need to make my own plans and come up with my own shit because I don't trust nobody else to be able to pull that shit off. So damn near anything a motherfucker says, I need to be able to hear it. Sarah, you made that great point, of course, that platforms dependent and all of those things. But a person should be able to say, well, the evil, whatever bad thing he wants. Another thing is that you see, like somebody else, Steve, I think said this. You see all your fucking favorite politicians, including Trump, talking about so and so should be off and gotten rid of, and all of them say the shit casually in a tweet. So I wouldn't act like, just because someone else said it, it's suddenly different. And and two things now that I think about it, I got a buddy. I'm gonna call him after I finish shutting up. See if I can get him over here. And Sarah, you should Google this dude while you get a chance. Right now, actually, his name is Eric Brandt, Brandt. He just got sentenced to 12 years for a threat, but he threatened the judge. So that will be interesting. Yes, Clayton. Oh, yes. I was just talking to him earlier today. I'll see if we get that dude over here. And when it opens up, I want to discuss this. I don't like when motherfuckers say you shouldn't talk about violence, never talk about violence. Bullshit. There's a season for everything. There's a time for everything. The guy who tells me, yeah, Joe, I believe in free speech and all, but you should never hit a cop. He's wrong. Bullshit. You might have to protect yourself. Cops bogus. Don't be you out there teaching motherfuckers don't defend yourself. That's something I want to get into too. Everybody, it's easy footing to say I agree with everything as long as it doesn't cause violence. That's easy footing. It's hardly entertaining conversation. I want to talk about the more risky shit when this shit opens up. It may not be considered free speech. I guess we'll determine that. But there is certainly a time to say your government has been really bad. What they're doing, they're killing these people. We need to overthrow it in some fashion, violent or not. But there's times to speak out totally against the government when they're fucking up, and it's protected in the Constitution. These things would not make you a terrorist. The guy who they were talking about earlier, he said lame shit. Steve killed it. He's just some shock jock type motherfucker, edgelord. Yeah, man. All right. I'm gonna end it here.
And is there a duty, Joe?
We do. Well, I do, because I'm a responsible motherfucker. I have a duty, and I feel it every time I'm writing and shit, not to give a bogus version of the cops and shit. As much as I think they're wrong, I got to call it even. I have that duty, but there is none imposed. No one actually must do this thing, and I have no problem listening to the crazies do their thing. And no, if you say something crazy and some lunatic is like, yeah, we're gonna do that, you can't be responsible for that dude, and his parents should have raised him better and told him it's a rough tumble world out here. All right, I'm done. I'm gonna call my mans and see if he'll get over here.
Yeah, tell him to come on over. Da Emperor, welcome back, my love. I missed you. What you got for us?
All right, so I was brushing up on it right now. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, okay, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. So that means, hey, they can't say, yeah, we're going to go ahead and push Islam. They can't do that. All right? They're not allowed to constitutionally. So we don't have to worry about that stuff, guys. Religion cannot take over us. And I was thinking, we are free to exercise our religious belief, right? That's cool. The freedom of speech, right? So they can't, wait. They can't make a law abridging the freedom of speech, okay? Now, what do they mean by abridging here? I have to look that word up and get really clear with that, because this is getting technical, guys. All right? Or free or press, right? So the press should be able to tell us the truth. Interesting. And they can't make a law saying the right of the people's peacefully assembly, right? Or to petition the government for redress of grievances. So if we have some issues, we can go to the government, right? But we have to have a plan written down. That's the kind of stuff I do, writing plans down so we can go to the government and complain. So we do have the right to do that. We have a right to have conversations. It doesn't specifically say what the conversations are about. There's a lot of wiggle room in there. All right. It's not protecting you from threatening people. It doesn't say that specifically. All right. These things are getting like confused. And I think the freedom of speech everybody thinks they have is not really what they have. Our freedom of speech, it doesn't exist because I've known my whole life if I say certain things, I'm gonna get popped in the mouth. So when was I ever to speak free? When was I ever to speak free? All right. My mom's, you can't get in the bow, got me. I'm on the playground. What'd you say? Now we fighting. It's always been this way. Okay. So freedom of speech isn't really free. It always costs you something. There's consequences to speech. Okay. Freedom isn't free. All
That's
right.
fair.
So
And
how could we expect not to pay?
that's another question I'm going to open up later is you have the freedom of speech, but are you free of consequence? So if I pop you in the fucking mouth for saying something stupid, right? And then add on to that, now somebody says something stupid to me, I pop in the mouth, and now I can get charged
Exactly.
for harming someone.
Called
So
assault.
If you if you pop off your mouth at a cop and he pops you, I mean it happens, right?
right.
Same situation.
So,
Consequences to running your mouth.
Right. So, okay. And now, do you think influencers have a duty of care? The emperor.
All right. I'll get to the influencers, but I wanted to say cancel culture is already here. So there's no line. All right.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to influencers, I just started talking about the freedom of speech. You're not free to say what you want. Every platform you're on has rules and regulations, including when you walk outside and run your mouth. So are you really free to say what you want? Or should you always watch your mouth? Because I think we should always be aware of what we're saying, because it's not what goes in you that defiles you, it's what comes out of you that defiles you. And I'll pass the buck.
All right. Thank you, the emperor. All right,
Nice,
Calvin, last one to you, and then we will go into full open mic. And for the record, I do have backstage. You have rights. I've got Tiberius, I've got Cameron, and I've got Papo, aka Felix, all hanging out back there waiting to come up. So you know the drill. If you want to boot somebody once we go into open mic, you absolutely can do so for $10 measly. Calvin, what are you thinking? Free speech, cancel culture. Where's the line, my friend?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I was gonna sit this one out and just chill and watch it, listen to this from the audience. But when you got halfway through your panel, I got, I know your panel or your audience is usually right wing, and I was like, wait a minute, we got this energy for Mr. Hassan, and I think we got a lot of Trump supporters up in this joint. And I don't want to make this about a whataboutism. If Mr. Hassan Piker did say a lot of things to deserve his deplatforming or a lot of the criticism he's getting today, I am 1000% behind it. I think influencers should be held accountable for their language, promoting violence, things of that nature. I believe, I believe in free speech, but I also believe that all speech is not protected. You can't say any and everything and not be held accountable. So when I hear some of the panelists talk or whatever the case may be, I'm like listening. I'm like, didn't Donald Trump do a lot of this stuff, promote violence, beget violence, did a lot of things that, I guess promoted violence, and people still support him, whatever the case may be. But yet I'm just here, I guess, to say, just to make sure that we keep the same energy that we're going to keep from Mr. Piker that you did. What happened with Trump? Because there's when you talk about the person with the biggest mic, biggest influencer, I'm sure
Good
we
point.
would agree that Mr. Humphrey
Gang.
is never more influential than Mrs. Trump, because his influence actually led to January 6th violence all around. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents about the situation. That's what I have. So,
Well done, Calvin.
All
I'm
right.
glad you hopped up. That was a cool
Well, I
And
don't
perspective.
know. Was that
Calvin,
a peaceful assembly?
hold on. Stop. Calvin, I want to ask, do influencers have a duty of care to society? Do they have a duty
yes,
for the things that they say?
1000%. You should definitely be accountable that you are influencing people to do, I guess, at least be law-abiding citizens. Of course, follow whatever belief that you want them to, or you know, take whatever action that you want them to. However, it should always be legally and within the confines of the law.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Let's go ahead and open her up. Gentlemen, I know Steve is hankering for it, and I know you're on a time limit. So I'm going to go ahead and let Steve make his first attack here because you want to go. Like,
quick, good. Couple of quick questions. Calvin, how old are you?
Young.
I'm in my late 40s.
How old are you really?
I'm in my late 40s.
There's no way anyone over the age of 7 believes that January 6th was what the television told you.
Was
like
what?
that's not even a thing.
I'm
like,
sorry, I believe that what? I didn't hear you.
January 6th was what the television told you.
What do you mean?
Like over the course of years, we've had multiple investigations where they're like, oh yeah, there were hundreds of FBI agents on the ground. And oh yeah, they were totally acting in a disruptive capacity. And oh yeah, there was multiple different agencies converging at once in order to make this a thing. Like, just please don't listen to, you know, people on the right that you may disagree with about January 6th. Just take a I don't know, a middle school level critical thinking application experiment.
Cool. Steve, I'm not sure that him saying Trump
and the only
inspired
reason
it
I'm
as
mentioning
well.
it is because you mentioned it. It's
Okay.
the only reason it's coming up. It's ancillary to the entire point or conversation.
It's
this
okay
is
to bring up, bro.
plea. This is a plea to you.
Steve, I'm not sure that goes counter to his point that Trump helped influence it. There are a bunch of people.
I
Wait, Steve, listen, hear my
Here we
whole point
go.
before you rebut it, Steve. Don't just rebut to the first two rows, Steve. Hit her whole point. I don't think that what you said goes against it. Of course, the FBI, all of those things could still be true, and Trump could have said some things that brought a few thousand motherfuckers there too. Both could be true. I'm not sure that.
Okay, I was there. I was there in a journalistic capacity, observing boots on the ground.
I'm sure there's a point to follow because I'm not impressed because you were there, motherfucker. TVs and shit exist.
It gave me a little bit more insight having been there for a week to gauge.
So please explain how Trump influenced no one to go up there and tear shit up.
Oh no, that's not the argument. Although
that's exactly what he said.
Although if you go, my argument was it was an operation. Donald Trump was a part of that operation, certainly. Yes,
we agree.
But to look at it in terms of pure partisan nonsense is naive to the point of like self harm, because I can't say words on YouTube.
Well, let me say this. Let me say, since it was directed to me, and I consider myself a logical.
I apologize. Real quick, I apologize. I thought I was muted. I was yelling at my animal. Not abusing, just telling them to stop messing with my table.
No, it canceling you, buddy. It canceling you.
What happened?
I don't know.
Nothing. He thought he was on. He thought his mic was open. It wasn't open. He's good.
Yeah, like random interruption for meaningless thoughts.
Well, to Steve, I consider myself a critical thinker, logical thinker. To me, I did watch it. To me, MAGA was a Trump for people came there for Trump's speech, which I consider MAGA his supporters. Right? He called them those were people. Those were the same people that went over. He directed to the Capitol, that left his stump speech and went over the Capitol. I know you said 140 or whatever officers. How many of you are going to say this? That was there. I'm not discrediting that. However, if we're being logical and honest about the situation, for the large part, the people that went to the Capitol were MAGA Trump supporters.
That's a good point. It doesn't work. The 100 FBI agents, it don't work unless you get the thousands there for them to hide them all.
Okay, so look at it in terms of a larger operation, then this can only go off if 143 people say so, because that's again, this is shit that takes a lot more research and a lot more critical thinking than, and I'm sorry, the average tomato panel applies to anything.
No,
I love you guys.
Sit on Spin,
I
son.
love
That's
you
a better
guys,
topic.
but
Then you want to sit
you're
on
all
Spin or something?
surface level, like partisan hack.
Wait, hold on, wait a minute. I
I'm
don't
not
know
a
who
partisan.
you all.
Well,
Joe
I don't know
Cool,
who you
Joe
all
Cool
is.
gets a pass. Joe Cool is fucking cool in the gang. Joe Cool's OG.
Thank you
Like
for that.
he's all right, but like most of you are partisan hacks. And James with the fucking fake Malcolm X class.
Hold on, buddy. But you
hold on,
need
wait,
to know
wait,
me
wait.
to
Hey,
make
can I ask you a question
presumptions
real quick?
about my character.
Okay.
So you
Hey,
can slow that shit right down. Don't just assume you know
hey,
me
James,
without
didn't
me
the
even
Dodgers win
speaking.
the World
So
Series?
take
calm
that
down,
partisan
princess.
hack
Calm
shit and
down.
shove it
I
right
don't
up
know
your
you.
ass.
Yeah. Just settle down, sweetheart. We're talking.
Oh.
Calvin.
Okay, sunshine.
I'm here.
No, you,
I'm
Thank
If
you,
you want a
Steve.
piece of me,
Calvin.
if you
Y'all
want
can
a
get
piece
off
of
that
me, have a
J6
I'll get to
logical,
you, James. Hang on.
have a
You can
logical
get to him
debate
now.
with me.
Fuck this shit with you
Because
and
if you're
Calvin.
gonna
That
name call,
shit.
we
I
can't
will.
get anything done.
I will. I'd love to. Hang on. Not your turn.
No, you don't.
Calvin.
Well,
Yeah.
No,
hold
I'd
on,
love to.
James.
It,
Didn't the Dodgers win the World Series?
Who cares?
I was just
it's
asking. You got the
literally.
Dodgers on.
Yeah,
I
It's
know.
no, it's
open,
swag, dude. It's
Steve. You
swag.
can talk to
Oh, okay,
James, man, and don't nobody want to go down that fucking J6 shit again anyway.
Yeah, I
So
I
if
don't
you
care
wanted
about it.
to
It was a
address
fucking
James,
op.
go
It's
ahead.
always gonna be an op. But the point is, like, when you focus in on the partisan hackery, you lose perspective of everything else
And
that's
he's
going
right.
around.
He is absolutely right. I can't wait for y'all to argue against that.
So I don't want to like make this a Trump thing, just yet. But because the title says,
But you did.
You really did. And I got to
You
ask
did.
you a
Carry on
question.
this,
In the
man.
first motherfucking 10 minutes,
Can I
you
talk?
named him like 30
That
times.
means you shut the fuck
This
up.
is gonna get wild.
This message is sponsored in part by.
Okay.
Well,
I
I love the way. Can you play that?
That was not permission for anybody to fucking talk. What Calvin did was he pulled what we call a whataboutism. Whataboutism is where he comes on and says, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying about Hassan, but what about Trump, though?
All right, don't fall
Right?
for it.
Yeah.
So
Well, okay.
if you want to fall for that trap, and all of you fucking did, then you go right ahead. It is your panel to have, gentlemen.
Well, Sarah, I got to ask
speak?
Calvin a question real
I
quick
speak?
because it really shows where the left is. He specifically mentioned that because of what I said. And I know he said that because of what I said, because I used a word incorrectly. I'll just add that. I used the word tangible to incorrectly describe my opening statement.
Okay.
So he put tangible like January 6th. I said nothing about supporting Trump. I said nothing about me being conservative, Calvin. So are you saying only right-wingers believe in the First Amendment right?
Assumptions.
No.
So how would you assume that I'm a conservative or Trump supporter?
I didn't. No, I said most of her panel. I said most of her panel is considered,
You didn't say that, bro. Not in the chat.
On
yeah,
the
but
day he said,
what-
I'm not
Okay.
considered anything except the
So-
emperor. So think about that.
So what I said in the chat and what I said on the stage are
Emperor of
directly
what?
at two different people.
Oh, let Kevin talk, bro. Come on, everybody.
So
Kevin, go
I was
ahead.
directly at two different people. Yes, I said what I said in chat, but in terms of this panel, I made it clear what I was addressing. So in terms of talking about January 6th and President Trump, my point was not to make this aboutism, because I clearly said that when I started.
But you did within the first 3 minutes you were talking.
Hold on, let him finish his thought. Let him finish his thought.
Here's what I said when I came up here. I said I was going to sit out in the audience right? And listen to this. But then when I heard some of the people on the panel and what they're saying, I said, hey, wait a minute, this is a right-wing channel, right? So let me make sure that you guys keep the same energy that we're gonna have for Mr. Piker that you had for Trump. That's what I
I
said.
heard you,
And I
Pat.
So
also
your
and I
preconceived
also
notions
and I
put you
also
in a place of disadvantage.
and I
That's
also
No,
fine.
he was
that's
absolutely
Fine.
correct. Most of these niggas, well, hey, at
bro,
least
you
half
already
of these people, most of these cats do lean right. He was not wrong
No,
about
we
that.
actually don't,
I
Joe.
see 3.5 out of 10
Yeah, but I
that
was thinking,
actually
I
lean
was
right.
counting the chat as well too, not just the people
Oh
up
well,
here. We're
the
about
chat's
split up here.
irrelevant, dude. They're like mouth breathing, brain dead money machines. Who cares about them?
All right, I
I'm
thought you were
kidding.
talking about the
I'm kidding.
channel
That's
though.
a joke.
Okay,
You
okay, I'm
guys are
sorry, it went
beautiful. We
past me.
love you. Take care of your money.
so
There's that laugh.
we can get back to Mr. Piker and to Steve. I'm not a partisan
Yeah.
person. You can ask Sarah. I'm independent, and my views on this channel has displayed that.
Clearly, you're not independent if you got such left-leaning views.
Well,
I hate
okay,
Trump
hang
subs
on. Let
too,
me
man.
let me
Well,
defend
I will
Calvin real quick.
say, I will say, there's been a few times where Calvin's come out on the right. Okay,
Yep.
Very good.
Let me,
few,
yeah,
a few, not
I'll
a lot,
defend
a
Calvin,
few.
Grand Poobah in this. It is fair to say that there are a ton of people on the right that engage in the same behavior as HASAN Piker, Trump included. What that gets into, though, if you're intelligent, is an argument about stochastic terrorism and whether or not that's a real thing and whether or not words incite
Stochastic. I'm gonna have
people
to
to go
Google something.
do the violence. That's the actual conversation. The partisan hackery is so beneath that. I would love to get beyond the partisan hackery and have a real conversation about the stochastic terrorism, whether or not it exists, and whether or not it has a place in media.
Oh
Can we
yeah,
get a
I don't.
definition
I
of that
don't
word?
disagree with anything
yeah.
you
I
just
got one
said,
for
Steve.
you right here. Can I read this off right quick?
Definition.
Stochastic terrorism is the public demonization of a person or group that incites random, statistically predictable acts of violence without direct orders.
Right. That's the action. Thank you for reading off the Wikipedia definition of that.
Yeah,
Good job.
Google. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I had to push two whole buttons.
Now come to the point that Sarah's making is are we or are you guys responsible as influencers for what a third party does? And the Supreme Court will not say yes on this, just so you know.
It's true.
Right. This goes to what James was saying. It sounds like that if I make rap music that say "fuck the police, shoot them in the leg," and someone does it, I'm now liable. Or I don't even have to say shoot them in the leg. Just fuck the police enough, and someone believes my rhetoric and goes and does some harm. I think that might even fit under the definition.
Would you consider yourself to have a duty of care? Like especially if you know, let's say you know your market audience would be 16 to 21-year-old men, and you said,
Watch your mics, guys.
yeah, somebody's like moving around or some shit. Stop doing that. If you know your target audience is 16 to 21-year-old men, and you said pew pew the popo, okay, and you made a song that said pew pew the
Right.
popo, and you came out and platformed yourself in a magazine saying, yeah, pew pew the popo. Do you, knowing that that is your target audience, which is a very vulnerable audience to
Very
things
good.
that influencers say, do you have a duty of care to not say shit that you know they could take seriously?
Can I jump in there for a second
No,
to
I'm
answer
asking
that?
Joe.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I
I
thought
was
that was a question to
interested in
everybody.
everybody else. If you're asking me, I do, but I feel that burden. I think your larger question is, do we all have a duty of care? I think it's a good question. I'm not sure I have an answer yet.
Sarah, there's a thing of culpability. Okay, the creator.
Who's? It's you, Adam.
The creator or the person would be planting the seed. However, are they culpable for the actions of one other? or another person.
If I may spin, could I?
Before you do, let me put it to you this way. Joe, are you familiar with the private prison system owned by record companies?
Yes.
Are you familiar with that, like conspiracy, but
I
not so much
I
necessarily
have heard it.
conspiracy?
That's what that was the pause and the
Okay.
hesitations is because that I heard it could still ring conspiracy, but I've heard many people say that yes,
So,
they are the ones who did the record
yeah,
company
so
shit. And
record companies own a lot of private prison systems, and they also platform a lot of people who tell that young, influential 16 to 21-year-old, particularly Black men, to go
yes,
commit crimes.
rappers
And
have came out, if I can, Sarah, and said what Sarah is saying right now, that they were in on the opening way back when they started getting all of the craziest rappers in a room, and he was like, it was some of the craziest rich white people you never would expect it there, and they were saying that we're gonna do this. We have the prisons. They laid it all out to them, and the few that backed out, most of the popular motherfuckers we know, they accepted this shit, and it looked like it all became turned into fruition, where you highlight the worst of the people, and you cause a little disruption, and get people to go out there and sell drugs and do shit
the
like
I
that.
got a little evidence.
the benefit to these record companies is by owning the private prison systems, the government pays them to house the criminals that they
produce,
their
and yeah,
influence. It's creating the cycle. So again,
That's a
I
good point.
ask, do you as an influencer have a duty of care to the shit you say?
Very good.
That's
do
news to me. I never heard about that.
If I could. So this is where the publisher versus platform thing comes in. So when we're talking about the government, that's whatever the platform is, but particularly publishers, the internet technology that you use right now, that's a private company that actually does that. It's not even Google. It's actually a company above them. I forget what it's called. It's like ICNN or something like that. But anyway, regardless of that, Google is private. The networks that you buy from, Comcast, so forth, those are all private companies. Those are what we call publishers, right? So then you have to get into the conversation about how much responsibility they have, how much duty they have to ensure that their readers essentially are getting the information upon a rated system, I guess you could call it, if they wanted to do that at all in the first place. Essentially what I'm pointing at is that the government is one thing, but then you've got your private companies, your private individuals, totally different thing. So what we're doing right now, we're having this conversation. YouTube has chosen to publish us, and they can take it away, as Sarah mentioned, at any time. I hope they don't, because we're having a great conversation. But the idea there is that if you're going to go into free speech on the street, that's completely different. Cussing out a cop or saying mean words or even threatening words or other things is completely different than us doing it on the internet.
Is this related to duty though, where we were that we create bad people? The shit that Sarah was talking about, was that related?
Yes.
I was trying to
Yes,
keep a
because
thread and I couldn't get one.
Publishers themselves, so this guy that we're talking about, or anybody else that publishes on any platform, essentially at that point, if you're going to say that the person is responsible for what they say, then you also have to say that the publisher is responsible for anything they say.
Because does the publisher have a duty?
They're pushing it out. They don't have to push that out.
I see where you're going.
Yeah, but wait a minute, Clay.
For just one moment for logistics here. I'm officially moving us over to the gauntlet. Everybody on screen is going to stay on screen. You're not moving anywhere. You don't have to do anything. If you are viewing this over on the Raging Tomato, whether on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Pilled, you now have to move over to the Gauntlet. If you go on YouTube, that is at the Gauntlet Debate. Go over there and you may continue. If you are currently watching on the Raging Tomato on YouTube as well, I've already set up the raid so you can be lazy and just click the little button when it says everybody's moving here. Do you want to join us? Yes, you want to do that. You want to continue on. All right, I'm closing out the Raging Tomato now. Okay, and don't forget your dono goal will also be now reset, and you have to hit that dono goal if you'd like to continue watching every hour on the hour. Okay, back to you guys.
Okay. So when we talk about culpability, and Clay, I'm going to bring you in on this, right? If I were to tell somebody to unsubscribe from someone, does that fall under the First Amendment?
No, that's I mean, that's ultimately like when you're saying does it fall under the First Amendment, is it like protected speech? No.
Correct.
Because it's got nothing to do with the government, right? So these are publishers. These companies that allow you to be here, that's not the government. ICANN, by the way, ICANN is the internet. Okay.
ICANN,
The thing, ICANN is the thing that you're actually on. It's not actually Google. It's not YouTube. It's ICANN. And then the networks run the cables and they send that signal to you.
Correct.
But that publisher is not the government. Regardless of what you might believe, the government didn't sell you your computer. They're not selling you your internet. They're taxing these people who are selling you these products and services.
I think what you're saying, Clay, is that free speech wouldn't apply because you're talking about free speech on YouTube, and YouTube has rules, and you have to follow those rules. So that your free speech.
Yeah, I brought that up earlier. There is no free speech. We're just under the illusion of whatever we think free speech is.
That is not true. That is not true.
Okay,
and I'm going to give you
no. Let him finish, please.
I'm going to give you one fucking scenario. Clay, Joe, and a few other people will agree with me. Is it free speech to stand on the street corner and hold a sign that says "fuck Donald Trump"?
It is considered free speech.
You're right. I agree with you. Yeah.
Okay. Is it free speech to yell through a megaphone, "fuck Donald Trump, fuck ICE," and all the other expletives that come through those megaphones?
I literally have friends who do that through megaphones all the time.
So Emperor
TPM applies.
Correct. I understand. But Emperor, so you just told this panel that I just fucking gotcha, bitch. There's no free speech?
First of all,
gotcha, bitch.
I'm not a bitch.
He meant on panel on YouTube.
Second of all, I'm saying the idea of free speech that you believe in is not there.
No.
Is it an idea? Is it an idea to go out on a street corner, hold a sign that says "fuck Donald Trump"?
Hey, Tomato, I have a recommendation, if you guys don't mind.
Let me ask you a question.
If you mind, have all of us go around and ask a question, like present a scenario, and then ask the panel, is it free speech? Would you guys mind doing that? I think that'll entertain us pretty good.
I think that Spin just did that shit. Anyone can hop in anytime. He just asked Imp, are you?
Yeah, I know. Because we're going to jump in on each other.
Let me ask you this. Do I have the ability to boot every fucking one of you from my panel if I don't like what you say?
That's right.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
I think
so
that's
guess
why
what,
Spin
Emperor?
took it off
the
of the
host,
internet and
myself,
put it on the
just
street,
fucking
rights can only be respected or disrespected.
You didn't.
As a matter of fact, I can use myself as an example of that, because one night I was on a panel with Sarah and I said something I shouldn't have said and she booted me.
Well, is that an idea?
No, is that freedom of
speech? An action or a consequence for what you've done wrong?
Well, no,
So
it's not protected speech because I violated the TOS TOS.
But wait a minute, wait. You're missing the point.
I'm just gonna go use the ladies' room really quick. I'm leaving Clay in charge. So if Clay starts talking, it's just gonna take me 2 minutes, guys. If Clay starts talking and saying shut the fuck up, you shut the fuck up. I'll be right back.
Okay, so Emperor, I come back to the question I just schooled you on.
Okay, you asked one question in one scenario. Okay, fine, but there's other scenarios. So let's stop playing.
It is freedom of speech to. Is it freedom of speech to drive down the road, stick your middle finger up at a cop?
Yes.
There's another situation.
Okay, but
is it free speech to go out in the middle of the national mall?
Legit situation, though. Let me give you a legit situation.
Go ahead.
We'll see if your freedom of speech is there, right? Look. So
welcome to the gauntlet.
Why is it that a white lady gets in trouble for
We're
what
not
she
going
says.
with. We're not.
Wait,
Listen, we're not going to turn
No,
this
no,
into
no,
a
no. I'm
racial
asking.
thing.
Let him cook.
Oh boy.
Why?
We're not going to. We're not going to turn this into a
no.
racial
Come on,
thing.
No. Hold on.
Let him ask the question.
But spin. It's not really a racial thing because her freedom of speech was violated. She said something somebody
'cause
didn't
y'all
like,
know
and
what I'm
because they didn't
talking
like it,
about.
she got
Because y'all
prosecuted.
know what I'm talking about. That's why he don't want me to bring it up.
Guys. Just let him ask the question. Obviously, watch your TOS because I know the question. But yes, go ahead, ask the question.
Go ahead.
So what I'm saying, why is this beautiful white lady having her kid at the playground, minding her business, right? She said
Just do to
what
doing
she
along.
said. Hold on. She said what she said. Isn't that freedom of speech?
No.
Depends on the context.
Oh,
But
now
no.
it depends on the context. You flipped
saw
off
the
a
video.
cop, but that's
Was it
freedom
the
of speech.
context?
But you can't say
You saw
what
the
you want to
context
say.
if you saw the video, or was it freedom of speech?
I was just asking the question.
Not
Her
you,
saying it.
Amp, let him
Yeah,
answer.
yeah, okay.
Listen.
He
I'm going
says
to
no.
first listen. There is constitutionally accepted speech, correct, or free speech.
I read the
What
Constitution.
that bitch did is not protected under the First Amendment.
Why she gotta be a
What?
bitch though?
You see
Because
the
she is a
hate,
bitch.
bruh.
No, she was a
Wait a
bitch.
minute. I gave you.
But that doesn't mean her
I can
speech
give you.
unlawful.
Listen, I can give you more scenarios where where freedom of speech is constitutionally protected than you've given me one.
But here's the
Terminillo
thing:
versus the city of Chicago.
if that one is
There's another one.
constitutional, hold on. I'm saying if that one time is a constitutional, right? And they did exactly what they did, and it's protected, but it's not being protected. Is that freedom of speech?
Nope.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Go ahead.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
For those of us that are kind of ignorant on this issue, what happened to her as a result of her speech? What did she do?
She went to jail.
It wasn't freedom of
Got
speech
like
that they got away with.
180 days.
She was accosted by a Muslim, and then she got real angry at whatever he said to her or her kid, and she called the dude the N-word.
Okay,
And
so
from there, it turned into this bigger thing where I think Emperor said it. She went to jail through a court thing. I think she was just found guilty of disorderly conduct.
But okay,
That's
so
it.
she
It has nothing to do with freedom of
her
speech.
Yeah, so she didn't go to
It's
jail.
harassment.
Saying that
Okay, fine. So they changed it so they could get them. That's what they do. They'll flip the shit on you.
Yes,
They will.
we're living in a time where people don't realize.
Wait a minute.
Stop. Now you go into jail for crack. Shit
Hate
happens.
speech is not constitutionally protected speech.
Are we sure?
It is.
It's yeah, are we sure?
She wasn't in the halls of Congress.
Okay, guys, what you think about it, what you misunderstanding is
Clay, it might
when you
not be
talk
hate
about
speech.
freedom,
You know
let
what
me
I'm
just
talking about.
let me just clear this up.
She was in public.
Shut up. Just one at a fucking time, please. James, go ahead. I heard you saying something.
One of the things you guys have to understand is when you talk about freedom of speech and when you say freedom of consequences, you can't just go up to someone and saying whatever you want. You're gonna go to jail for harassment. And when you're talking about the N-word, you're talking about the most extreme and violent word in the. Would you please let me finish my
Let him
sentence?
say it anyway.
You're talking
Let
about
him
the
say
most
it anyway.
extreme, violent word in the English language. There are plenty cases where someone called a black person the N-word and they got the crap beat out of them, and a black person walked.
Oh wait,
Okay,
was that the Chud hold on, Clay. Was that the Chud logic thing?
I believe so. There was a few of them, and like me, I was in a situation. I don't like to talk about it too much because I believe that my case was.
You get all in your fee-fees.
It was pretty close to me having to deal with some problems that I don't want to deal with. Someone called me the N-word and we got into a fight, and the guy hit his head pretty hard when he hit the ground. And that wasn't me punching him in the face. That was a grab, a push, and a tussle. I didn't really swing, but he hit the ground and he got hurt. However,
you did.
the word that in other scenarios I would hit you. I'm not a nice
curb
person.
stomp that man.
Okay, so but the situation was like this. That person caused a hostile situation with their words, and the courts agreed.
Really?
Okay. The courts
so-
agreed
Hold
that
on.
person's
James,
words.
can I ask you a question? Because it
person's
pertains to
words
what you
created
just
a
said.
hostile environment.
Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to listen to James. James, question. If
Yeah.
I said those words to you, the same thing that he said right now, or the same thing that he said to you that caused you to get into a tuffle, would you still feel like you're in a hostile environment if I said those same things right here, right now?
I would be offended by it, and
But
the
it wouldn't
person,
be hostile, right?
yeah, it would be considered hostile if like someone else is with me that feel like, you know, the situation is hectic, like a violent
no.
act.
Stop. Play with my
Like me
hypothetical.
personally, no, because I wouldn't feel threatened by you.
Right. Well, I mean, we're on the internet.
Yeah. Well, no,
Like,
well, true.
You just leave my panel, right? And it's not
Right.
hostile. You may feel like it might be hostile or getting
Right.
heated or something, but it's not hostile because I can't touch you. There's no
Right.
actual
That's true.
threat to you, correct?
However, I could complain to YouTube that you use your panel to come at me.
You
to
could
create,
give an
to,
argument that you were
to
so
attack me,
excited.
and you know, and that will be, you can actually lose your channel for that.
Yep,
You can give an argument, I think. I don't know if it'll hold, but if you live
And that is
close
pretty
enough
much
to her,
the same. Matter of fact,
Cancel culture.
if I was on the panel of someone very famous and very wealthy, I could sue him.
No.
Yes, you can.
Cancel culture.
I would like to ask James a
Sorry.
No,
question.
the reason why, like, you're voluntarily on a panel, you can leave.
True.
Right?
Yeah,
And
but that's true. That's true. But before it happened, I was no one out. There was no warning that I would come into a panel and have that said to me. Come on, guys. You guys are very intelligent. You know I can sue you for that.
You have to prove damage.
All right,
No,
let me ask you
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
James.
yeah.
Hold on. I've been waiting to ask him this.
Hold on.
You guys could ask me. Go ahead.
I'm going to give you all the fucking firemen if this keeps happening. I actually want to hear from, go ahead. You have rights because you're new. And then I do want to get Joe's take on this for sure because I know he's trying to chime in on that. Go
I
ahead.
forgot there was a new guy. I apologize, Sarah.
I'd like to start out. I'd like to start out by saying or reminding everybody of Terminillo versus the city of Chicago. Arthur Terminillo was a man of color or whatever, you know, and there was a white mob outside the church in Chicago trying to break in to whoop the crap out of Arthur Terminillo, who was on a PA giving a vitriolic speech about the people outside, which was a quote unquote white mob. Okay. And so basically Father Terminillo's in there saying as many things as he wants about these white people outside, which were wrong, in my opinion. The things that Arthur Terminillo said was not wrong. The white people outside was wrong for being like a white supremacist, non-human, non-friendly people. Well, anyways, so Arthur Terminillo, the Chicago police came. Arthur Terminillo was told to shut up and leave. And those were two things that Arthur Terminillo did not have to do, was shut up and leave.
Okay.
So Arthur Terminillo continued, and the Chicago police placed him under arrest for disorderly conduct for the vitriolic speech that he was giving in that. Anyways, it went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court decided that the use of words, of bad words that people don't like, is the best use of the First Amendment. That one man's vulgarity is another man's lyric. And that what Arthur Terminillo was doing in that day does not constitute a breach of the peace or disorderly conduct, that he could say anything he wants about the white people outside.
Yeah, we
and
all,
with that, go on, Joe.
I was just gonna say that yeah, that was well said. You made it very clear, and we do have to keep that in mind. There is a case of motherfucker doing exactly what we're talking about. We were talking about the hard R. In this case, motherfucker doing it in the Supreme Court, backing them on and saying you can do that shit all day. So now
it's something that makes us uncomfortable.
When people say hard R, it's confusing. People say, well,
the ER at the end of the word, my guy.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but I'm gonna clean this up real quick, and I'm gonna set you guys back in your seats for this one. The hard R.
okay.
You say rappers. Oh, come on, guys. Give me a chance here.
Go ahead, Jay.
You say rappers use it in their songs. Okay,
No,
I would like
rappers have never
someone.
used the hard R in their
Okay,
song. No
right,
one
right,
said that.
right.
I hope.
Okay, since you chimed in, would you please define the N word? What is the definition of the N word?
The hard R, not nigga, not the
No,
soft A.
it doesn't matter what you're saying. Everyone's saying it's the same word.
Isn't it the Spanish term for Negro?
Wait,
no. I said, guys,
or Spaniard.
Hold on.
I need some clarity
swear to
here.
God, you're all fucking gay.
This message is sponsored in part by.
All right, it's very obvious that James and Joe are having a back and forth. We should let them have the back and forth, please.
And I can't be watching gay firemen all night. So y'all be
those firemen are not gay.
I didn't mean to do that in my life.
I'll tell you what, if everybody does good, I'll give you the
All
booty
right.
shots again, okay?
Oh,
And
ooh, here we go.
you can
All right.
also-
Right on.
You can also purchase the booty shots with $10 in the chat, or you can bring up someone else who's backstage. We've got Tiberius, Cameron, and
Very good.
Papo hanging out back there. All you got to do is send $10. If somebody on stage is bothering the shit out of you, you just send $10 and we'll boot them to the back and bring someone else up. Okay? All right.
Is someone just trying to sell some ass right now? I'm done.
SCA, money's money, baby.
Yeah,
give
not
you
hers. Not hers.
You want me to give
not
you a little
hers.
tease? A tease? All right. Now you know what it looks like. Okay. All right.
See,
Go ahead.
there's a real
Hey,
woman.
James, I just want a little clarity, James. You are already assuming that everybody believes those two words are the same. I'm not so sure. I
No,
heard
I didn't.
anyone
I
say
just said,
there's-
please define it. What is the definition of the word?
Which one? My question was,
It doesn't
which
matter.
one? And you says everybody knows it's the same word or something.
Okay.
What if they
Do
have
you
two
agree-
different definitions?
Right. Now, the reason why I even presented it that way is because when people talk about the N-word, Shiloh, the first thing they say is, Black people use it all the time. They use it in rap songs. I said, no, we do not. We do not say the N-word in rap songs. Yes, you do. No, we do not. If we do, what is the definition of the word?
Yeah. N-word.
Can I say something real fast, Joe?
N-word could be soft, A hard R. Maybe they
Just
were confused which
define
one
the
you were
word.
talking
That's
about.
all. What
Do
is the
you
definition?
understand, James? You can say something in 1 second because I think we agree here that soft A, which is what I say when I run up on spam. Oh, what's up, my nigga? Is a term of endearment. I love this guy. It's like saying homie.
Not really. No, we don't always
That's-
use the term.
Okay,
We don't always-
wait. I gave
I
you the
can't find it
context.
in the.
We don't
in
have
the-
to
guys
talk
gotta
about
spend
when
some
we
time in
always do
Massachusetts.
it.
May I
I
say
gave you
something
the
in Spanish
context.
definition?
I'm walking
Hold
up on my. Is my mic working? Because niggas talking over me.
It could be.
It's
That wasn't used in a
Coming
word
up
of
your ass,
endearment the way
might
you
start
just
working
used it.
better.
Yes,
right?
but that's not the context that I gave you. Stay with what I gave you. I said
I
when
know
I
that was
walk
one
up on
context.
my man spin. Yes, that's the one I'm talking about. I said in this context, we know I am not using it harshly. And
Joe.
you agree.
Yeah.
And the other word,
Joe.
if someone says the hard R, no one walks up and said, "What's up, my hard R?"
Joe.
Yeah, we agree on
You
that.
understand?
I understand that, but we don't always use it that way. A lot of times we say, "You a stupid ass." I'm like, "Yo, what up, dude? You a stupid ass." You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
The word with the A is used the same way as other people when they say dude, bro, etc.
I think you just said what I said. Now,
Well,
is
look
the
at this
hard R
dude.
used that way?
Yo, dude, what up? In the same way. Okay, the
Yes,
word
is the hard R
clearly
used that way?
Joe. We agree on that.
Is the
Okay,
hard
if
R
you-
used that way?
Joe,
Just answer the question. It'll take you
What?
2 seconds.
I
Is
know,
the
but
hard R-
you never answered my question either.
What was your question?
I said define the word.
I'm still trying to understand what you mean. Because I think you're saying the word, I don't know if you're saying hard R or soft A.
That was my point. That was my point. You actually were agreeing with what I was presenting to the panel, but you thought we were in disagreement. What I was trying to do
No.
is,
I thought that's from the very beginning.
know,
That's
but
what
you
you were
never
trying
gave
to
me
do is to say that people misunderstand. They talk about the word all the
Yes,
time
Cole.
and they think they're two different and they're the same
Joe.
word. I saw where you were
Joe.
going. Yeah.
You were trying to argument when I was trying to reach an understanding of something that was going on.
You were doing it poorly. I was trying to correct you.
I know. The reason why you think it's doing it poorly because you want to get into an argument. We don't have to do that. Let's just have a conversation. I don't want to get an argument. That's just
Joe,
why are you cutting into me when I'm trying to have a conversation with you?
Because you're talking about you. It was my emotions or whatever weird shit you can say.
No one said anything about your emotions.
Continue changing logic.
What do you mean your emotions?
That was you saying that the reason you feel that way, Joe, is because you're whatever the fuck. I don't care what you think about why I feel the way. Just
Joe, I said the reason. Joe, I said the reason why you feel that way is because you kept cutting me off and not giving me a chance to explain and get you to understand exactly what I was talking about.
You're not helping me understand a thing. I just told you I understood.
Because you're cutting into what I'm saying to you.
Like you just did to me?
Joe, all I did was ask the panel, not you, to define the word.
Yeah, I was here. I remember. And I asked for some clarity,
and nobody did it.
I still haven't gotten it 20 minutes later. Could you answer a couple questions, bro? Without interrupting to what you accused me of. Do we agree that the soft A is used, like you said, homie, cuz, and that the hard R is not used that way? Do we agree?
That was my point.
That's a yes.
I was the one that was presenting the question to the panel, Joe.
I was here.
Not you.
You can't answer a question, can you?
What question were you asking me?
My question is, that's a yes. You're clear that those are two different words.
Of course I do. That was my point. That's what I was presenting to the panel. There was no need for you to ask me that question. I already knew that. What I was trying to do was I was trying to make a point. But you pulled it in and started having a conversation about something that I already agree with.
Because I told you had bad form. I understood where you were going. You started off.
What do you mean bad form?
I'm about to tell you. You interrupted so-and-so. You started off by saying everybody says that the word is used so-and-so.
No, I didn't do that, Joe.
You didn't. You said everybody says the word nigga is used in rap songs or whatever your phrase was.
I know, but that's not what I was talking about.
That is what you said, though.
Yes, but that's not what I was talking about.
Okay, exactly. Which is why I tried to pause you and say, not everyone, excuse me, not everyone up here even agrees with what you're saying.
What did I say?
People, I just told you that people use say we use the hard on rap songs. I don't remember what your opening
I never said that.
was. Okay.
No.
I don't remember verbatim.
No, that's not what. Of course you didn't, because you cut me off before I finished what I was trying to say.
No, because I'm not interested in understanding your shit or nobody else's verbatim.
Then get the hell off the panel, then, Joe.
I'll do as I like, nigga. I don't need your permission for nothing.
Yeah, right? You want to get into an argument. That's what I thought.
I don't. I would like to just
obviously
stop interrupting me.
You do.
Apparently,
all you want to do is fight,
again,
right?
This is what I'm saying. These are your emotions. You left the argument.
There's not emotions, Joe. You want to fight. You don't even want to talk about what I was talking about.
I do want to do it, but I want to do it uninterrupted, and you don't want to allow that.
What?
I want to do it uninterrupted, and you don't want to allow that.
I was the one who was asking
better when they're uninterrupted and can complete their fucking thoughts, right?
But I was the one who was talking, Joe.
We were both talking. I have no idea what you're talking
weren't.
about.
I asked a question to a panel, and you went off on a tangent.
No, I asked you for some clarity, and you didn't answer. I asked you, are they two separate words? And you spent 20 minutes telling me my question is irrelevant.
Joe, I was the one who was asking the question.
I saw. I was here. Your point. Did you hear anything I said? Because you never on anything that comes out of my mouth.
What?
The first question I asked you.
I was the one who was asking the question.
See how you interrupt?
Never answered.
The first question I asked you was, do the words mean the same? What's wrong with you that you can't hear? You can't keep your lips sealed. The first question I asked you was, do the words soft A and hard R mean the same thing?
Why are you asking me that question?
Excuse me. You said about being stubborn and not answering the question for 20 minutes. That's what I saw. Go ahead.
Why are you asking me that question?
For clarity for the panel at that time.
I was the one who was presenting that clarity with my question.
I'm telling you were bad at it, and I'm entitled to think that. And I still say you're bad at it because we're talking 20 minutes later. It started off with y'all all think of where everybody says that's not true. No one thinks that.
Joe,
Not
what are
even
you
square
talking
white
about right now?
motherfuckers. You'd understand better if you listened.
What, Joe? I think we should start over because you're not right now.
Okay, let's do that. All I did was ask you a simple question instead of
Okay,
answering
so
it.
you asked
and
me a
again,
question,
you interrupt me.
Joe, you said you asked me a question. Holy shit, Joe! You said you asked me a question.
Yes.
When I was asking you a question.
Yes. You've never heard of clarity, so I can answer your question. I need a little clarity. You've never heard of that?
Okay,
That new to you?
let me help you understand what was going on without being cut
crazy?
off. Joe, let me help you understand why your response to what I was asking is off the wall. When I was asking a question to define it, that was me presenting to the panel an opportunity to make sure everyone understands what that word is about. The clarity that says, well, people use it in rap songs, so they're using it. Well, that's not the case. Maybe we should have people define the word. So when they define it, then we could come in and talk about the differentiating, the different uses of the word, how it's used and everything. So by you asking me that question, it doesn't make any sense because that theory has that was already being presented to the panel for us to have a conversation about it.
All right, I'll say that I get it now. When I asked the question, it stole your thunder. You wanted to tell this long ass story of that people are having misconceptions.
No, I didn't tell a long story.
I
just
didn't
asked the
interrupt you.
question.
I did not interrupt you for this
This is
purpose.
like
So I
dial-up meets old school.
this is what I saw
internet.
just happen.
This
When
really,
I
like,
asked you
it's
that, it
two-
would steal your
two
thunder.
really
You wanted to
old
tell a long
guys
story and prove to everyone on the
arguing the
panel
same
and
exact
whoever was
point
in
to each
earshot
other,
that
but
they
they
are
neither
wrong. You are
give it up
misconstruing the
because
words,
they
the soft
both
A
have
and the hard R.
something
You are
in
wrong.
common.
By me
Yeah,
asking you 2
they both
seconds
have
in,
the
it steals your
ego
thunder, so
problem.
you got to ignore me and act crazy. Like, why would you ask that?
Joe, calm down, dude. Calm down.
Shit, you niggas talking. I must have
about
lost
ready.
sound.
Okay, go ahead and get rid of him. Use my credit.
Are they
All
talking?
right. Clay,
God
yeah.
damn it, I lost sound. I'll be back.
Okay.
Hey, James, can I ask you a question real quick? And
Sure.
I'm not Joe, bro. I'm very sorry Joe's coming at you. He's emotional and he's a sovereign citizen. Now, I disagree with what you said originally, but I'm pretty cordial for the most part. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Bear with me. It's relevant to my actual argument against you. It looks like you're pretty successful. You have a house. You got a nice gold chain on. It looks like you're pretty successful,
Silver.
right? So it doesn't.
Yeah,
look
my
like
life is pretty good.
Joe,
Doesn't
are
look-
you still? Joe, can you still hear us? Okay, I'll kick that one. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so, it doesn't look like you allowed anybody to tell you, you can only wash dishes at Denny's. You did whatever you do to get yourself a house and a nice gold chain, yada, yada, yada. So why would you let a word influence your behavior? You know what? I understand. It's a bad word. I get that, bro. I'm with you on that. But why would you let it dictate your emotions when you clearly don't let people hold you down on the financial aspect of life?
This question
what I'm
isn't
trying to say?
even. This question isn't even fair to ask because
I'm
why
being the one
would you
asked the
let-
question.
Like why would you let some word?
Can I answer?
Yeah, I'm pretty
emotions?
sure I was
Really?
asking James.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on, Cameron. Let me put you backstage for just a second. Joe, Clay paid. He had a credit. He had a $10 credit. He used it to boot you.
That's cool. I was gonna chase some cops. I was just gonna tell y'all that and say goodbye anyway.
Aw,
But I'm glad
okay.
Clay paid $10 for me to go do it.
Make that money, baby.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
James.
So
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
asked
you know
a
what I'm trying
question
to say,
about
right?
why
Cameron,
the word.
mute up, dude. You've got some background noise, man.
I do?
I was Cameron, I think.
Oh yeah, I think my I'm using my
No, it's
my
Cameron.
good. I got the extra microphone.
I
hooked to
turned the
my,
fan down so it can't be
It's
me.
fine. Holy fucking shit. Like one person, we said one person has mic issues. I said, yes, I know it's them. I'm trying to fix
sorry.
it. And somehow literally everyone else wanted to talk about their fucking mics. Okay, can we get back to the fucking conversation and actually get into the topic of some sort? Right now, we're talking about the hard R versus the A and why it's bad, why it's not bad, whether I give a fuck doesn't even matter at this point. But tie it into free speech, motherfuckers. For fuck's sake. Go ahead. Whoever
James,
wants to try and talk.
James, can I've been waiting to ask you this because what you said about being all like in your fifis about somebody saying that the N-word to you and you felt it was hostile and all that. Well, how would you feel if, say, you said the C word? I don't know if I could say it on here about white people, and I'm trying to be careful with my verbiage here.
I was gonna say that, Sarah.
All right, if you called somebody a Ritz, we all know what a Ritz is.
No.
So if you called me, well, I didn't know if I could say it. I'm not trying to violate the
TS. The word is cracker. For fuck's sake, the word is cracker.
Yeah. And if somebody who has a dark melanin,
sorry, I just wanted you guys to say it. That's all.
Here's the thing, Sarah. If somebody with a dark melanin says that to my face, just like he said, just like James said, there's consequences for your actions. James, you might get hurt. I'm just saying.
Hey, hold up, James. What's my name on here?
Guys, if you want to ask me a question, you got to give me a chance to answer it. I mean, I don't mind.
Well, I'm not saying he did say that. I'm saying if the roles were reversed.
Adam for Jody.
Huh?
Adam for Jody. Lose my last credit.
Adam for Jody.
Yeah.
Who's Adam. All right, Adam to the back and Jody to the front. And you have rights to sitting back there now, along with Adam.
Yeah, James, we got sidetracked with my question. Like Adam felt the need to chime in, Emperor felt the need to chime in. I don't know why. So yeah, hopefully you remember my question. I believe you do.
Yeah. My situation was the guy was in my face. He was being belligerent and violent. It was more than just him saying that. But when you top it off with that, and one of the reasons why I didn't swing in anything is because where I was, there was a few people that I worked with. It was a familiar place. And I know that I have a temper. So if I start swinging, I'm not going to let that happen to myself. That's not a good thing. There's a lot of men who know they have that. And if they let loose, they're probably going to end up doing something real stupid. And that's another story. But how would I feel? I mean, why would I let the word bother me? Number one, anyone, I'm not going to jump you guys, but anyone who says the N-word is just a word, it's not just a word. Okay? When you say the N-word, what comes with it is, those pictures of strange fruit hanging from trees and the history books, the Devil's Punch Bowl, Selma, Black Wall Street, feeding, all of it comes with the N-word, all of it. And the reason why if you don't see it that way is because you probably don't look like me and you never been put in a situation or you never had to deal with that word even mattering to you, which is good. I'm glad you guys, if you never had to deal with that, that's good. But I had to deal with a lot of racism in the Navy, in the government and overseas. And I got to tell you, I got scars on my knuckles for a reason. I'm not just some big tough guy. You say the word, I'm going to beat you up. It's just that I was put in these situations and I had to bust up some faces for that stuff. To me, when you say it to me, you're not just calling me stupid or short or fat or ugly. The word comes with context. I mean, there's so much that goes with it. And you have to have grown up into it it just carries a lot of weight when you look like me.
Hold on though, because
sure.
I mean, words, right?
Can I give you an example, Tomato? Something that'll help you understand? All right, here we go. Let's take a girl. Let's say she's 13 years old. And while you're looking at her sitting there quiet, you find out that her uncle did it, her father did it, her uncle's friend did it.
Did what?
And a couple other boys in the neighborhood did it because her father was doing this. These are real scenarios. And you come along, and when you find out about it, you call her.
Did what?
The unthinkable to a girl.
The most traumatic thing.
Sexual assault.
Oh, okay.
Right. And you come over and you call her slut. Now, slut is no longer just slut. To her, it's no longer slut. And now let me add to it. Turns out she was my niece, and I just found out about it. And I know that you called her that because of that, so you can be a snot. Guess what's going to happen to you? You're not going to make it home. And I may not make it either because I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. And a situation.
hold on. Stop.
You know? Yeah.
Stop for a second. Okay.
Sure.
Words don't actually harm people, correct? Unless they are actually defamatory, slanderous, so on and so forth, right?
True.
I mean, now in that situation with the young girl, I think that's treacherous. Right. She's a 13-year-old girl. However, the anger should be directed at the men that actually did the thing to her. Why are you mad at somebody for calling her a slut when the people you should be beating the fuck out of are the men who did that to her? Like, the fact that you're more concerned with somebody calling her a slut versus the person who turned her into said thing, supposed, right? That would be my concern.
True.
Why are we talking about the after effects, somebody calling her a hoe bag or something?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Now
this is the retarded part. Okay. We're mad at words. Okay. When the reality is we should be more concerned with actions.
All right. So one of the reasons why you get mad at it is because that doesn't mean that you're not mad at the other guys. Okay. That doesn't mean that you're not mad at the other guys. But what we're talking about is how the girl feels when you say it. It's like you're bringing it up all over again. That stuff is traumatizing.
It's an emotional response.
So I'm gonna let somebody else talk. I just want to ask you one final question. What's my name on here, James?
What's that?
What I want to ask you for one final question. What's my name on here?
I can't see. It's kind of small. It's on my phone, and you can see these things. They're not working. I can't really see it. What is it?
Well, it's Kraut Mick. I wanted you to say it, then I was going to hit you with a banger that it's a slur for German Irish. But the joke failed because the name is small. I was just trying to make a joke to levy the situation. But yeah, that's all I got for you, James. Oh yeah, you could have done that, Sarah. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, James, I respect you. You're cordial. Again, I apologize for Joe. We ain't all like that. I yield, my questions for now. Someone else can.
Sarah, can I have 30 seconds of latitude for 30 seconds? Mm-hmm. So the word, the hard R, and I have to be very tactful. James, this is to you. Okay. I'm going to define what the word means for you. Obviously, I have to be careful of TOS, and I will. The word, the hard R, is an English racial slur whose literal origin traces to the Latin hard R, meaning black, but its modern meaning is overwhelmingly pejorative, a term of contempt or dehumanization directed at people of color.
I hate when they say this is similar to the Latin word, because the Latin word is negro, which means Negro black, but the N-I-G-G-E-R, that one is not the same. But I understand why people do it, but I don't like when they do that. It doesn't make any sense.
So
I know why they do that.
No, I get it, but I wanted to define it.
Yeah.
In its current term. Now, my question, if you heard that term, and Clay, if I'm crossing the line, stop me.
Just don't say the word.
If you heard somebody telling a female or saying that word to a female, what gives you the right to be the feelings police?
You misunderstood.
Let me finish. Mm-hmm. Other than if a person were to say it to you. And then I have a second part to the question, if you will answer my first part. And Sarah, thank you for the levity.
I think you misunderstood what my scenario. I said, like, say I was an uncle who, like the uncle or the relative of the girl, that's what I was saying, who actually came in a situation, didn't know that was happening to her. And one of those other friends who was probably next in line or something like that called her a slut and her hoe. And say he knew what happened to her and he did it because of that. That was my scenario. I wanted to strengthen the word. I wanted to put some tar on it for people who don't look like me. So you can actually, I wanted to really throw a lot of dirt and mud and crap on it. So you can get a word, could create another word that's not the N word that you can actually relate to. That's what I was doing.
Okay.
I needed to create a scenario for that.
Now it's here.
Spin, if I could, because I'll actually do this for you. So what I was saying earlier about the C word, it's actually the opposite. So the hard R is fine. It's when you put the A on it that Southern whites will take it as a pejorative. Okay? So what that means is, and this is why. Essentially, at that point, you end up blaming that person that you're calling the soft A for the actions of people in the past. So it becomes a negative connotation. So it's quite the opposite on what the pronunciation is. So just so you guys know, for all my melanin covered brothers out there, it's the opposite. It's the opposite. No R is worse with the C word. So I understand it. And yeah, see, and that one's fine, right? It becomes a racial slur when you do the soft A. But only.
I think you're missing that up. The racial slur when you do the hard R backwards.
So it's backwards, correct?
Yeah.
Right. And here's the thing, though.
I guess
so. On the internet, it's a publisher, right? So we have terms of service. But let's say that we're in real life, right? And I use that word, right, with my homies who happen to be white. It's fine. But if someone who's melanin covered comes up saying that will be a problem.
You're all a bunch of fucking pussies. Let me just
I'm
start
telling you
there.
what it is.
No, let me just start
I'm not saying
there.
what he thought.
Do
I'm saying
you
he did.
know how much bullshit names I get called on a daily basis, and even my skin can take that? And I'm
On
a
the internet?
fucking girl on the internet,
In real
my
life.
DMs, all that fun shit.
So not
I've
in real
been-
life, though.
Clay, I bartended for years, okay? I've been called every fucking name in the book, and I still don't give a
You're working for a business at that point.
fuck.
That's
Well,
not long.
I guess my
I
second.
could have gotten mad.
on
I
the
could have
street.
gotten mad. I could throw drinks at people. I could get pissy. I could kick them out of the bar if I want. I
Yeah,
could do
so-
all of those things. But y'all are a bunch of fucking pussies to sit here and actually be like, if somebody call me this, I'm going to fucking beat the fuck out of them.
I'm telling
Hold
you
on,
What is
I
the
see
actual
No,
But
what
here's
you're
the
doing is
problem.
you're
That's the
playing
whole
with
reason
it,
I
and
wanted.
you're
I wanted to
Now I
come
guess
up.
we're gonna have a
truth
session of
is-
doing
But the
nuts
truth
nutty
is
stuff.
that you
Can I
won't
get a chance?
stay
Let
on
me
that
know.
side of the sidewalk if you see a bunch of dirty homeless people, okay? You're going to call them dirty and homeless, and you won't stay on the same side of the sidewalk and then walk by them saying those words. I guarantee you will not walk on the same side of the sidewalk with the dirty homeless people
Hey,
calling
Clay.
them dirty and homeless.
Clay, I'm gonna with tomato. So here's the problem with what you just said. I noticed that you get pretty upset. You don't get pretty upset when people call you names, right? It doesn't bother you, brushes off. But you do seem to get pretty darn pissed off when someone says you can't say something.
Well, that's the whole reason why I wanted to join.
I noticed this about one side and the other.
What is he talking
Okay.
about? Can't say
One
what?
side says we get upset when you say something, and the other side gets upset when they said they can't say something. The reason
What are
why
you
you got
saying I
that is
can't
because
say?
what's that?
What are you
Right,
saying
you
I
said-
can't say?
Right, you get you feel that
No,
you.
what are you like? What
I'm
what
trying
are
to.
you telling me I can't say?
Well, you just said we're a bunch of pussies if we get mad when someone says the N-word, right?
When you
No,
gotta use
that's not
use
what I
of
said at all.
force.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood you.
If you
That's-
get
no,
if you get
I
upset,
said-
if you get upset with
Hold on, Judy.
words,
I said y'all are a bunch of pussies. If someone calls you a name of any sort, I don't care what the fucking word is, and you're over here threatening to beat people's asses and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that.
Right.
That is the biggest trigger factor I think I've ever heard. And to let a word actually trigger feelings of
I'll
like,
respond.
oh, and even if you're saying, oh, well, it's deep history
Sticks
and
and
built into this
stones,
and doing
dude.
that.
Let
No,
her
come on,
speak,
it's
dude.
more than that.
I don't like, to me,
Let me respond.
It's absolutely retarded that I'm going to sit here and let another human being try to bother me by calling me things.
The reason why you can,
that's where I'm
I
at.
know, let me respond, guys. The reason why you can say that is because there are no words that sink that deep to you. Because there's nothing, there's no word.
Don't let them.
Because it, no, because it doesn't, there are no words strong enough.
Sticks
They
and
don't
stones
have any
may break my
history.
bones, but words may
Let me
never
get
hurt
in there, guys. Hold
Dude,
on. Wait a minute.
the N word,
all
all right, here's the thing. Here, let me just, I'll land my plane. If you don't understand the power of the N word and why is it that they're fighting so hard to make sure they can say it, is because they know what it does. They
So
know
why is
the reason why people get so upset.
Everybody else shut up. Recognize when there's a back and forth with one person and another and shut your fucking mouths. Number two, to you, James, you give the power to the word.
Exactly.
Only you give that power if you let it bother you. Just the same as I would say I would be giving credibility to a person talking shit about me if I said, that bothers me that they said those things about me. I give them the power to hurt my feelings. I fucking refuse to give the power. I think you're weaker for allowing them to have that kind of power over you by saying a fucking word. I think
What if
that's
I told you, but what if I told you you can't say it?
I don't give a fuck what you tell me I can and can't do. Now, what will I choose to
Right?
not say certain things? Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
I'm on a
what if,
platform.
right. What if you said, what if I had the power to say, if you say the word, I'm going to demonetize you and I'm going to prevent you from working at any job in the United States?
I'd like to see
Okay,
you
number
Well, hold
one.
on, guys. Let her
Hold on.
answer.
Number one, I wouldn't allow you the power to do anything. And by that way, I choose not to do certain things that I contracted with YouTube not to do. I agreed to that agreement. I signed that agreement. I gave YouTube the power to do those things. And if you're going to sit here and say, I'll reach out and make sure you can't work another fucking place
No,
ever
it's
again,
not.
blah, blah, blah,
No.
blah, or I'll do this.
That's
and
not
I'll
what
do
I was
that.
saying.
Hold on. If you're saying that would have some kind of control over me, that means I put myself in a position to allow you that kind of control. Again, that's a stupid move. I wouldn't put myself in a position in which you would have some kind of control over my movements in this world.
Sir, can I say
here's the
something
problem
real
with
quick?
that. Let's say silo, okay? If the word was just silo, the crazy lady that called a black baby the N-word. That's her name, right? Is it Silo? If the word was just the thing about it is, people who use it in the derogatory way, when they try to say it's just a word, if it was just a word, then why would this woman be they literally put $1 million in this woman's bank account for her right to say the word, because they know. So it doesn't hurt them because they don't look like me. Okay, I'm not giving the word power. It already has power. Now, me personally, if you say it to me,
it already has power.
Of course, it has power. If you're saying
it power,
you're not understanding me.
I think it's very understood.
You guys are not.
Learn where there's a back and forth, James. You keep giving it power. But the mere idea that you're making it an entire conversation saying, well, if you called me this, I'd do that. And we gave this woman $1 million for calling this kid this, that shows it has power. Blah. You give it power.
It already.
Do you know, if you talk about things in such a way, you give it power. Me, I just don't give it the breath.
You don't. There are no words. The thing about it is, if it didn't have power, then you wouldn't fight so hard to be able to say it.
Why am I fighting to be able to say anything?
The thing about it is, if I say, I don't want you to say that word to me, and you says freedom of speech, I should be able to say that word to you, and I punch you in the face, right? You're the one who created that scenario for trying to make it such a big deal to be able to say it to me.
Hold on.
It's your fault.
So if I say the word to you and you say, don't say that word to me, and I say, fuck you, freedom of speech, and then I say the word to you again, and then you punch me in the face for saying that word to you, you think I'm in the wrong here?
No. Listen. Yes, you are in the wrong. And two things. If the word didn't have power, then why would you say it again? Why would you fight so hard to be able to say something to someone if they just told you that they don't want you to say it?
Well,
in your head, it has power too.
I could call you an asshole, right? And you could say, don't call me that. And I could say, fuck you, freedom of speech, asshole.
That's right.
Would you punch me in the face? If you punch me in the face, then it certainly would be a problem for you.
I think you're misconstruing the punch in the face. All right, take the punch in the face out, right? I said you didn't say it. Like, say we're friends or something like that, or in a workplace, and you called me an asshole. Now, asshole is nothing compared to the N-word. And you called me an asshole, right? And I say, I don't want you calling me.
You had a little dick.
Whatever. It doesn't matter what it is.
Okay,
it doesn't matter what it is. Right. And I told you I don't want you saying that to me, right?
Tiny. It's real tiny.
I want you saying that to me, right? And then you say it again.
I saw you touching.
And who's allowing the word to have power? Is it me or you?
You are.
How is that if I just told you not to say it to me and you said it again? Why would you say it again? Because you love to say it because it has power to you.
No,
you just by saying it to me, again, it was power to you and you like that power, so you said it again.
Hold on.
Same thing.
Hold on, little dick. If you sit here and say, don't say that word to me, whether it's calling you little dick or an asshole or anything else, you put the power in my hands. You did.
Negative.
Yes,
right.
You did.
All right, I'm going to explain it. I'm going to
everybody else shut up, because you saying don't call me that tells me right there, oh, he's fucking triggered. I now have the uppity up on this one.
You just told me
I can say it again, and I can trigger you again.
Right. Guess what? You are now raging with power by using that word against me. So you gave the word power in your head. You actually hold on, dude. I'm talking to her.
Hold on, no,
Clay, I'm talking to her.
Allowed this thing to go on for an hour, interrupting our conversation.
I'm enjoying the conversation. I will say when we're gonna move on. First, number one, motherfuckers, none of y'all have sent a fucking dime to meet the goal, and you only have 12 minutes to do so. We're gonna do a grift break here in a minute in order to establish our power over this fucking panel and how quickly I can shut this entertainment the fuck down. There's like 100 of you out there watching right now. You have something you can do right now to unfuck yourselves. Number two, Stinky Paradox comes in with a big 5, says, so how many people have you initiated criminal physical assault over this word that's so much more powerful than all of the other words? James?
Now, here we go. Now, let's say the scenario. Let me clean up the scenario one more time.
He's asking you a question to the super chat, please.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I can't really.
So how many people have you initiated criminal physical assault over this word that's so much more powerful than all of the other words, James?
I say about maybe 4 or 5 people throughout my life.
So you've hit people because they've called you words.
Right. But guess what? 2 of those scenarios, they got kicked out in the Navy for it. Now,
and here's why. Do you know why? If they use that word in the military, they are contracted when they come in to agree to those terms. That's why they get kicked out.
That's true.
Just the same, if I utilized any form of what's recognized on YouTube as hate speech, and they have a whole fucking list of them, if I use any of those terms of endearment towards anyone, I agreed to not do that. Therefore, they can tell me to fuck off all they want. That does not negate my ability to utilize those words outside of YouTube, right? It doesn't mean that it gives any type of power. It just means YouTube says, hey, look, we don't want any hate speech problems over here. Therefore, let's not use these words because we don't want to be held responsible or liable for any problems that happen in the YouTube space. And we don't want that type of crew representing our company, right?
Right. Now, if the word you say, like, I give it power when I hit someone for saying it. Now, in the scenario with the Navy, okay? And I was talking about, you can say I'm giving the word power by hitting someone. However, if you are so you're so entrenched with power by being able to say this word that you're going to risk your freaking military career. You're going to risk your job. There are people who've risked hundreds of millions of dollars because of ruining their career by being racist and saying stuff like that. We've had stories upon stories. They know what they're going to risk, but they are so drunk with power by being able to say that word to black people that they're going to risk all that. Same exact thing.
Speaking of power, Clay, let's show the power of the panel and what they have to do if they would like this show to continue. They owe 10 out of 10, Clay. They owe us a lot.
You guys, listen, Linda. We get over here to the gauntlet. All of a sudden, ain't nobody want to pay you. Listen, Linda. You know what you have to do. It's 10 at a time. You can actually take that 10 and boo any one of us. Obviously, we're having a conversation about free speech. These conversations sometimes go to the N-word, okay, but it's not the N-word that we're actually, this like whole panel started over. It's this other guy that's on the internet who's a lot of people don't like, whether it's left, right. Actually, some of the people on the left don't like him. Like the idea that this panel is even supposed to be about the N-word, it's wild. You guys know what to do. You know what to do.
You know what to do. All right, Cameron, tell them what the fuck they need to do. Oh, I like your avatar. That's funny.
All right, guys. Sorry. You obviously have to listen to the business lady, Lord Business herself. You gotta donate. You gotta fill her pockets to the brim. Sorry, I'm thinking.
Tell them, send money, bitch.
Oh, yeah. Send money, motherfuckers. Sorry.
There you go. That's how I like it. Directed to the point. Kraut, what the fuck do they need to do, sir?
Hey, listen. My words have power. So my powerful words are telling you people to donate the money to keep the gauntlet open. Power have words, or words have power. Let's go.
Words have power. All right, Tiberius, I assume you know what you're doing now. What do you do?
Yeah, my guess is we just got to tell everybody to like, share, and subscribe, and welcome to the Raging Tomato Show.
And tell them to send money because they owe $10 donos.
Oh, okay. Yeah, send out the $10 donos. We got to get them here. What's our goal for tonight here?
Well, every hour they have to meet $10 donos, or else we shut the show down when that hour ends.
Oh, no.
So they have 6 minutes to get it in. Then we go into the 15-minute hit it or quit it, one big fat red dono mode. And if they don't hit that, then I shut the fuck down and I go to bed.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So now, Jody, tell them what the fuck they need to do.
all you crazy tomato fans, you guys want this chaos to keep coming? Send some donos right now. Like, follow, subscribe, and send some donos. Keep the show alive. Let's keep this chaos going.
Send money, honey. And you can use that $10 to boot any person you like off the panel. Calvin, tell them what to do, sir.
Hello, fellow listeners. We've reached a juncture in our conversation where it's getting really interesting and hot. I think you're lifting like to keep this going. So if you'd like to, definitely donate to the panel and still check your Cash App.
Ooh, Cash App. I like ye. Wait, why is there no notification? I don't have a notification. Spin, tell them what the fuck they need to do, sir.
Listen,
here
fuckers.
It is. I got it.
Listen, fuckers. I'm the one that opened the thing. We need to keep it going. Get the donos in. I'm not done. Y'all ain't done. I damn sure know Sarah's not done. And James, I know he's not done. Send the fucking donos.
Send the fucking donos. Calvin, I got your thing. I'll get you in just a second after the grift break. James, tell them what the fuck they need to do because they're all here for you at this point.
If you don't put that money
into
this channel, the Raging Tomato is going to tell you about yourself, and she's going to tell you the truth, and it's going to feel very bad. She's going to make you feel like that what you're watching is not about you. It's about your soul.
Hey, yo, what the?
I had to change the music for that one. He went for the soul.
Sarah.
He went for the soul. Emperor, what's up? Tell them what the fuck they need to do. They got less than 5 minutes. Oh shit.
Well, guys, all I can say is if you want to keep listening to these hardy R's, let's do this. Donate.
Donate. Do. All right, Calvin. Calvin sends the Big 10 over on the Cash App, and he says, I've got to go, but want to say something. So let me remind the chat, you only owe 9 more donos, and you have 3 minutes to do it before you owe a full red dono, okay? So, Calvin, go ahead, my love.
Yeah, so I believe I'm the only other black person on the panel now that Joe's gone.
Why are you being racist?
Oh, I apologize. I forgot
Represent.
about you, the Emperor, right? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, Emperor, too.
So racist. We need to come together, man.
I identify as dark melatonin.
So
I identify as American.
I wanted to say in terms of the back and forth between James and Sarah. James, I think you are not. I want you to like listen to what Sarah's saying, because what she's saying is not actually incorrect. You're somewhat correct. The word with the ER at the end does have deeper connotation, does have deeper historical meaning behind it, and also it can cause people to could disrupt people's livelihood if they say it, because it does have, because of what happened historically with it. But to Sarah's point, you are giving this word power over you if someone can say something and
not exactly.
Let me finish.
Let him finish. He paid his $10 so he could talk.
That's true. He did. Apologize, sir.
So and I see it based upon programming, because I'm a black person. I grew up, with probably the same preaching as you did around that word, not to allow someone to say that to you. But that's how I was taught to view that word. And I think that's how you were taught to view that word and to respond, to never let someone say that word to you, whatever. But this is 2020, and it's not like 1950 where things were a lot different in terms of oppression and things of that nature. So to wrap this up and put a bow on it, I agree with Sarah. They're using something like they're using a word that they know would hurt you or you would trigger you. That's basically whatever that word is. If it's the N word, whether it's causing you something, whatever, they're just searching for a word that they know would trigger you. And for a lot of black people, we've been taught to be triggered by that word. So that's why some people or racist persons might use it. Because I've been called that word, and I don't let it bother me. And I think that's what we're trying to get you to the point, to allow to not be triggered by that word and give that word so much power that it puts you or pulls out emotion from you. And lastly, I would like to say I come from the frame of mind that people for the large part should be able to say what they want to say without you putting your hands on me. I don't think there is anywhere in the legal code where that word would be required or should be will allow you to physically respond to their saying that. So I'll just rest my plane there.
Fair enough, Calvin.
I
James, if you
like
have a
that, but
response.
I think that the idea that a grown man will want to live in a world where you should be able to say whatever you want to someone and not get hit, that's probably something a teenager would say, no offense. And everyone knows that if you say the wrong thing to any man in the United States, there's a chance that you might get knocked out. Every man knows that. Every man is careful what he says to a man that they don't want to upset. Everybody does that.
Can I add in on that though? But
Sure.
You're saying that it wouldn't be like the courts would view it as, oh, well, you were put in a hostile situation because somebody called you a certain word and you were allowed to punch them for it. That's fucked up.
That's what we're saying.
The situation one is exactly that clear. The courts believe that they created a hostile environment. Okay. And I was allowed to challenge the person, but the person was being a little more aggressive and very violent. And everybody there agreed with me jacking the guy up and telling him to get the hell out of here and grabbing him. And when I shoved him, he tripped over something and hit his head.
I don't agree with it. Can I say
But however, you said a
Very
lot for me to respond to. So go ahead and let me get this one out. So I had this other situation where someone was being racist to me out here in Vegas. It happened at well, I'm not going to say it because they might attack your channel for saying something happened at their establishment. But it was the one that's downtown Vegas, way up at the top. It's one of the bars that's one of the best views in Vegas. It's at Cirque. Tomato, you definitely would want to check it out when you come out here if you have the opportunity. It's one of the best views. Aside from the Sky Lounge, who probably has a challenger view, but that one has a better one. And these guys were in the bar and they were yapping it up. It was talking all this crap. It was just talking about Trump and MAGA. And there was only 2 black guys there. I was one of them. There was another guy, but I think he was probably security because he was really big and he was calm and quiet and kind of maintaining his place. And somehow, some way, the conversation got over to me. All right. There was a lot of guys there, and I knew that if I hit one, I'll probably may get like 2 or 3, maybe. And I'm going to get pummeled because there was at least 25 of them there. And they seemed like they were all on the same program. And I was just saying to myself, we was going back and forth, it's kind of like this panel, this and that, Trump and all that MAGA stuff, back and forth. And it hit me. I realized something. I'm like, I was here minding my own business, not really bothering anybody. Right. And these guys felt the need that as soon as I got there, their whole demeanor changed and they made it all about me because I'm the black guy. And they had to come all the way over there, leave their fun, leave their drinks, leave their joy to come over to try to be racist toward me. And I had this realization. If you're racist, you can't be alpha. If you're racist, you're beta. You're weak. You're beneath me. So if you're calling me the N-word, that means you feel the need that you have to take me down a notch. You have to destroy me, and you feel that this word has the power to do that. Okay? In your head, the word has power, and you think it's going to be used against me. You already made the word powerful by trying to say it to me because, like you guys all said, that the word is something that could be used to try to take me down a notch or mess up my day. So in your head, the word has power.
Okay, you made the point. You made the point.
Before anybody responds to that, hang tight. Number 1, you owe 1 big fat red dono. You have less than 15 minutes to do it or else I shut down. We all get the fuck out of here and go to bed. Number 2, Morgan sent the big 5, says, I am giving money for the fact that James was allowed to speak at least. Yes, I have been, accused of racism and fascism before by our darling Ryan the Radical Coder, by the way, he did post a picture of his puppy Umbreon today on his channel. If you want to go over and tell him Tomatoes sent you and comment on the cute puppy photo and tell him to get his ass back over here. We love to have him back. But yeah, I've been accused of that. But on these panels, no, you are absolutely allowed to talk, even if you sound stupid. All right, 1 big red dono, or we all go the fuck home. All right, back to you guys.
What you just said should be a T-shirt. That shit was awesome. I swear to God, it should be a T-shirt. Please, man.
I've been trying to defend James in a sense.
If you play victim, are you alpha?
I'm recommending that someone makes the T-shirt and send it to her. Please do it.
Motherfuckers pay for this goddamn panel. We don't want to talk about.
Hey, I donated already before the dono goal. She got to check cash app. But I need to say something, y'all. Look, all right. It is never okay, and I don't care what word anybody says to you. I don't care how your feelings is. You need to think about your actions. Everything you do, every choice you make, has waves.
Speaking of waves, the Emperor sent in 10 bones over on the Cash App. It's supposed to be towards the dono goal, but that still only puts the chat at 2 out of 10. Therefore, you still owe 1 big fat red dono, or we go the fuck home.
So I've been trying to talk
Go ahead,
to
Jody.
defend James, right?
Oh.
Because words do get you triggered and want to make you like punch drywall, right?
If you have a little dick. If you have a little dick.
Like little dick.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
do not have
right?
a little dick.
But that's when.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Let him talk. I've been to prison, and it's
Send your girlfriend my way. I guarantee she won't come back to you. You guys do not want to play that ball game. You guys are playing with fire right now. Stop. I'm telling you right now, this conversation is going in a direction you don't want it to go.
Little bitty one.
Come on, man.
It's like 2 things and fucking chat.
Yeah, you nah, dude.
Bro, I've been to prison, okay? I done seen it. It's typical.
Yeah, I bet you did go to prison.
Crying about words.
So you went to prison and you got experience with a lot of little thingies.
Look, you got to shower with everybody, and God and everybody is seeing.
Yeah, I was in the military, man. We had to do that too, but there was none of that shit.
Motherfuckers crying about words. Yep, exactly.
Thanks for telling us what happened in prison.
Tell me more about little
dicks.
dicks.
Sports or the military, you've been to jail or prison. You find
No,
out
I've never been to jail. I'm not stupid.
Motherfuckers crying about some words. Facts.
No, it's not just a word. If it was a word, you wouldn't be fighting so hard to say it.
Yeah, but they came over there to you, right?
We're not fighting to say it.
Hold on. I don't think it's the point that people are fighting to say it. I think
Oh,
it's
yes,
the
it
point
is.
that people are fighting for the idea that, like, for instance, the woman who called the little boy that, and then she got sentenced with all this bullshit or whatever. It's like the idea is that, like, you're putting a stipulation on a word on one person and not on another. Okay.
Oh,
And
but
there is, and I think she's in the UK, I think, right? So in the UK, they have hate speech laws. We don't out here.
So does Germany, and Germany's are stronger. You do that in Germany, you're going to jail.
1942, Germany was really strong, right?
And the reason why Germany did it is because Germany understood the power of hateful speech. They understand it. Now, you brought up Shiloh again. If the word didn't have such power by those who were saying it, only power by those who are getting mad for it. If that wasn't the case, then why did they send this woman $1 million so she can have the right to say it to black people?
Hold on. I think she was actually being harassed, and she had to move. I think she had to move because she was receiving so much harassment. And
I'm not too sure, but I believe that he started at her. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut in on you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's what happened. She lost her job, and then she was being harassed. Like, her address was out there, and people were sending shit and whatever, and so she had to move.
Well, yeah, those are the consequences.
They sent money, so she faced consequences already from public. Hold on.
Yep,
she already
yep,
got public opinion and harassment, and all of that stuff happened to her. She had to move. She lost her job, and all of these things. And then on top of that, now she also has to face an additional sentence.
Yeah, that's good. See, here's the thing.
Good. What?
Yes,
hold on. I want to ask you something, James, because there's only limited time. I'll make it quick,
That's
my
true.
guy.
Yeah, no one's doing it.
All right, you've been in your fifis this whole night about one word, and you sit
Negative.
here and
That is
talk
not the
about how
case.
emotionally mature you are. Don't
I
interrupt
am.
me, please. I've waited backstage for a good minute now. I took my punishment like a man because Spin got in his fifis too. Okay. I agree 100% with what Sarah said about you gave the word power. If you're so emotionally mature, why can't you simply just ignore someone else's ignorance, the ergo not giving that word power? But instead you want to get all huffy and puffy and make it a bigger issue than just walking the fuck away like a man. Because I don't give a shit what people say about me. I don't care if you call me a cracker, a snowflake, or whatever.
Yes, you do.
That shit don't mean nothing to me.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. You know why? Because I don't got time to entertain your bullshit.
Well, hold on.
He said he doesn't, and you're going to tell
Do
him.
you know how many times I've been on
I'm having a conversation with him.
Do you know how many times on a protest line I've been called a fascist and every other word that you could ever think of?
Have you ever been called a pedophile?
hold on. If I gave that word or those words power, do you really think I'd be rolling down the road right now? I'd be in prison. Okay?
No.
And the second part of this diatribe is, if you are you that word?
What?
The answer is no.
That's a good question.
The answer is no. So why do you give power to one specific word and risk not only your safety, but your freedom? That's retarded.
No, you're misunderstanding the situation.
Not to mention, you forget about another amendment that's right after the first one.
If you want to talk to me, you want to keep challenging me on this, let people have a conversation with me and let me respond.
I told you what the word meant.
Brother, you have dominated this whole panel.
Right.
I did not dominate the panel.
Speaking of words, words matter, but you only have 4 minutes to get them in.
Yeah, it's over, guys.
No, it's not always. Sometimes they pull through
I
on
hope
that
so.
last minute. Sometimes
nice.
they do. Sometimes we get lucky. And
I mean, last time I got into a fight by being called a mean name was when like 6th grade.
I'm still talking. The
She is.
Emperor
Sorry,
backstage wants to use it because he sent the $10 and he accidentally lost his connection back there. So Adam, I'm going to throw you back to the back and pull him back up since he did have that grant with the 10. Normally, the Emperor, I make you sit back there and wait because it's your own fucking fault for not having your shit charged when you're on a panel or knowing you should plug the fuck in. How does this even how do you guys do this? Let me ask you that. How do you fucking sit there on a panel and you're like, you see the red blinky thing and then the 20% thing pops up and says your shit's dying, you should plug in. How do you actually fucking do that? You drive me nuts.
Oh my God, that's annoying.
That? Emperor, go fix your shit. Something's going crazy.
So I would say something for your channel, guys. When you have people that build channels like this, the good thing about it is if you have a good, legitimate debate. Insulting people, talking over people, and doing things, it literally destroys your channel. No one wants to watch that. No one's going to be entertained by that. People come onto the channel because they want to hear the debate. They want to hear a good back and forth.
And nobody wants to listen to you and your fifis for over 2 hours about one word.
See right there? That's what they don't want to do.
No,
That's
sir.
ignorant.
Sir, I'm about to get booted anyway, so it's all good. All right, because when the Emperor comes back, I got to let him get his groove on.
Are you upset?
I'm upset that you keep making this word the top priority
you
of your
just
life.
got upset by me just talking. And you just got on me because I get mad about a word.
You're in your fifis. Oh no.
You're in your feces now. You just told us.
The N-word. Brother, you have made for 2 hours, you have cried over a fucking word.
Dude, you're crying now.
Who cares?
Stop whining and have a debate.
I'm a Trump supporter. I get called a dictator, a pedophile protector. So there goes that.
That's
Do
right.
I let that shit bother
But you
me?
are.
Not a fucking bit. Why?
Yeah, but
I
you
don't
are though.
care.
Yes, you do.
How?
You just told me you're mad.
I'm using it as an example. I don't
No,
care.
it's not an example.
I don't
You're
give a
mad.
fuck what
You're
people think.
butthurt.
I believe what I believe, and I have my views. You
Yeah,
wanna
but
call
why
me
are you
out of
so
my
angry
name,
right now?
You can call me whatever word you want to call me.
You
as long
said
as you
that
don't
many
put your
times.
hands
Why
on
do you
me,
keep saying it?
I don't care what you say. Brother, I got
Actually,
some
you
of the
do.
most ignorant
Then why-
neighbors in
okay,
the world.
if you don't
who are
care, then
black,
why are you
and
so
I don't
upset
give a
right
shit
now?
what they say about me. Why?
Actually,
Because
you do.
It's just words.
Dude, you
It's
keep
words.
saying that
Grow
over
the
and
fuck
over
up, man,
again.
you emotionally stunted little
Dude,
bitch.
Listen, you
You
keep
need
talking
a
about
box of
how you're so.
tampons, you need some
You
tissues
keep
for your
talking about how you're
fifis.
not emotionally upset, but you're upset right now.
Because you're pissing me off, man. We could have
How
had
did
an
I
more
piss you off?
intellectual conversation.
If
And
you're
all
so,
I've heard for
dude,
2
you
hours
don't get
is
mad at words,
James
but
and
you're
his
getting mad right
feelings.
now. Why are
This
you
ain't
so
therapy,
upset?
bitch. You want therapy? Go to therapy.
Dude, why are
It's
you
not
so
therapy.
upset? Why?
Because you're irritating me. Because we could
How
have been
am I
talking
irritating
about
you?
10 other different
So
fucking
all right,
things.
so what irritated you?
Instead of, oh my God, the
What
N-word.
irritated
The
you?
N-word.
What irritated you?
You and your
What
crying
about me
of the
irritated
fucking
you?
N-word. Get over it.
What
my God,
about
if
me
you say
irritated
N-word,
you?
I'm going to put my hands on you.
Dude, why are you
Motherfucker, I would
running your
love for you to
mouth?
try
What
that shit.
irritated you?
Hey, matter of fact, the other night I was on Balderson's
I don't care about
channel.
what you did the
were
other
there
night. I'm
too.
trying to figure out what irritated you.
You and Rogue Son You and Rogue Son got mad because I said to Joe, I was like, "Hey, Joe, you my nigga," and y'all
You're
got
talking
so
to me.
butthurt that a motherfucking white dude said
Goofy
that. Guess
ass,
what,
you're
bitch? I
talking
grew
to
up in
me.
the inner city. I grew up in the hood, bitch. I'll say whatever the fuck I like.
That's a good time.
So
to
why are
stop
you so
that.
upset?
That's a good time to stop that. Okay, and I'll bring.
Because you in your
hold on.
fifis, buddy.
Hold on, I'm gonna
Dude,
put you in
calm
the back,
down.
Adam. I'm gonna bring up the Emperor. I think Emperor is your shit fixed. Emperor. There it
GG's to Adam.
Yay!
I mean, goddamn.
Thank you.
Fucking second. Beep, 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 beep. Alrighty, Dave, my guy coming in with the big fucking red fat fucking dono, cause he's like, fuck yeah, Sarah. Yeah, like a boss, says Objective Ethics. Fuck yeah. I want to see nothing but fucking tomatoes in the chat until I remove this dono on the screen, because we're at the bottom of this shit. And to Adam's backstage, don't say those words on my panel. Number one, I get on to old Joe about it, and he is black. Okay, I got onto him. I've booted him before for doing it again and again and again. So consider this your warning, because it can possibly be considered hate speech if you say it, for fuck's sake, even though you're not on camera and it doesn't look like you're a white dude because you're back behind the camera, whatever. But don't do it, okay? Don't do it. Maybe Ben lets you do it, but I'm not going to let you do it over here.
No, it doesn't happen over there. He's done it, and I've kicked him.
Okay. All right,
He
fair
also
enough.
said another word, Sarah. I don't know if you caught that or not, but he said the
He's a punk.
PDF.
He's a punk. Anyone who does that on a panel.
He was saying people call him that. He wasn't calling anyone else that.
No, he called me a few things. He called me. Yeah, he called me a few things.
He didn't call you a pedophile.
And now I have to trash the stream because I'm streaming to my people too. I mean, come on, dude. How many fucking times? I'm sorry, Sarah. How many fucking times do people have to say you can't say shit?
Yeah,
Well,
don't
You
do
know
that.
fucking better.
Don't
I
do that.
said PDF. I didn't say the actual word.
Crowd, we're not talking
Now,
about you.
the
Adam
thing-
knows better.
The thing of it is Adam was not calling him that. So there is a difference. He was utilizing it in an example form. However, just don't fucking do it. You risk everybody's shit. You risk everybody's shit. So
I thought the word
disavow. We don't do that. Okay. All right. Let's get back to the fucking topic. I'm tired of talking about the or the or the whatever. Quite frankly, I'm over it. Free speech. Let's get back to that.
Yeah,
And focus in. Go ahead, Kraut.
I'll bring it back on track.
ahead,
So
Good crowd.
we have to make a distinction. You know, do we have a right? Like it's the government that can infringe on a right.
Yes.
Now I'll give an example. Clay set me straight on this before. When that dude Don Lemon broke into that church with all of his left leaning friends and what have you. We did a panel and that got brought up, and I was like, yeah, he infringed on the First Amendment. And Clay set me straight. He didn't infringe on the First Amendment because he's not part of the government. So I was like, oh, you know what, Clay? I feel like an idiot because I stand by basically all the amendments, so I should know better than to have a slip of the tongue like that. So, if you call anybody whatever the fuck, you're not in, it's not infringement for somebody to say you can't say that because they're not part of the government and they can't arrest you for that shit.
Right. So essentially, and I feel like this is a good segue as well. So the government is what we're talking about when we're talking about free speech. We're not talking about you on some private property, you on a publisher's platform, you in a book. You're not, Stephen King writing a book for his publisher using these things as your backdrop. What we're talking about with free speech is specifically whether, one, you can be arrested for it, saying words that are inciting, sort of narrowly. I would say it's like narrowly tailoring from the New Hampshire versus Plensky, which is the fighting words doctrine. It's not exactly, but it kind of piggybacks off of that. But
Mhm.
Bradenburg versus Ohio, it's the tenets for that, right? For the inciting words. What is inciting words? One, it needs to be something that's imminent lawless action, right? It can't be like you're on the internet or across the stinking pond or the river shouting out, blah, 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 all that. You're literally across the river. Nobody can say that somebody was inciting. Action has to be taken, right? On top of that, like if somebody actually did something, then you could be considered having incited it. But then that does not discount assault or battery of the individual who takes action, right? This is the thing, right? One wrong action does not condone another wrong action. So if we're talking about free speech, when you say words that people don't like and they, hit you or do something to you, right? Your words can be considered inciting, but that doesn't mean that what they did to you isn't also a crime. If they took action upon you, guess what? They also committed a crime. You've both now committed crimes according to the court. And whether an officer wants to arrest, here's another thing. Whether an officer wants to arrest is a whole other thing. If they don't, and they're doing arrests, I just want to soapbox just a hair longer.
Yeah, no, you're good. He was just checking his mic.
Okay. If an officer chooses not to arrest based on something that he has made arrests in the past for, or if he makes future arrests for, then that becomes unequal application of the law, 14th Amendment violation. So here's the thing. A lot of things go into free speech. However, the subject matter has absolutely zero to do with free speech. The subject matter is this douchebag on the internet saying some wild out crazy shit. He's a douchebag. Hey, so aren't we all? We all say some crazy shit. But whether it rises to the point of, one, criminal action is highly contestable, and number two, if it's civil, right? So there might be some things that he might say on a civil level where somebody could sue him, but then even that is contestable. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there.
Do you agree with the current limitations of the statutes?
Before that, I just want to say thank you, Sarah, for allowing me to have a moment here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, this was fun.
Whoever saved the channel and saved the conversation, thank you for giving me a few more moments because I need to get this. James, look, man, look. I love you, brother. All right, Jesus told me to. You feel me? It's one of those things. You feel me? I just need you to understand something here. When you speak, you're representing a demographic of people because you're giving yes, you are, because you're giving yourself power.
Negative.
Hold on. The reason why I'm saying this is because by saying this word has power, you're directly describing a demographic of people, and you are putting yourself in that demographic of people and representing them when you say this word is going to get you beat up. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Do you know who Chud the Builder is?
I'm just, that's what I'm saying. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do, and this is my response.
Okay, perfect. If you understand what I'm saying, then
I do.
If we allow, as the individual, if we allow words to hurt us, okay, the thing is, we're gonna feel emotions. When somebody says something, they say something real loud, real quick, and it was short, you didn't hear it, you're gonna look, what? Like, you know what I mean? It's a thing.
Right, I know, but this has been said to me 1,000 times on the panel. I don't mean to cut in. I'm sorry.
No, wait, hold on. I dropped some change for my time. Just hear me out.
True, you did. Yes, you did.
I see where you're coming from because I was there. When I was in the military, I got kicked out for fighting. I'll fight you.
What year?
This crazy. It was 2008. Really bad year.
That's the new military. I go back to 1995. We fight, and we did not get written up for it. Just as long as the fight would be two men handling the situation. They don't do that anymore.
Now, my thing is, I allowed words to hurt me. I allowed that word to give power over me, and it lost me an opportunity. Or it could have possibly saved my life. Who knows? In that time, everybody was dying of something. You feel me? So what I'm pointing on right here the responsibility is always going to fall on the person that's receiving the words in a debate. You can end the debate and walk away. Okay. In a conversation, you could walk away. Just like if Sarah said the word to you, or you got mad, or you said something she didn't like, she kicked you off the panel. You know, there's that walk away effect because you guys walked away. That's what walking away from the situation looks like, when both parties exit willingly because you know the conversation is not going anywhere. And you know, and this is a lesson we have to learn. Of course, we allow our emotions to override our thinking sometimes. It's called emotional thinking. I get it. I understand. We all do it, but we have to be rational and logical in times of peril.
I need to cut in.
It's very important.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. You can respond. Go ahead.
So you said the same thing to me over and over again. You guys keep saying the same thing to me. I need you to understand something. I do not hit people for saying stuff like this to me anymore. I said I did that when I was in the military. And then I gave you a scenario when people were coming at me again. Nowadays, I'm 50 years old, guys. I'm 50. Nowadays, I like it when I'm around people who are racist because they make me feel 3 times smarter than I already am. Good. I like these kind of things. I like to debate people.
You take the power there.
Yes, I like. You guys understand something? Listen, because you keep going at me about this like I'm a kid. You misunderstand me. No, you didn't. I know you didn't.
Oh my God, are we going to do another hour of this?
Yeah, I don't want to do another hour of this.
I know, but they keep.
Let's go. Well,
yeah, they keep coming at me with it. I'm trying to shut it down.
The Emperor was trying to chime in earlier on it, but his shit got whacked. So let's go back to the free speech with the government, with the platform. Hasan Piker, should we cancel culture his ass because he's a crazy fucking socialist? Like all of these things. Oh, Joe Cool's back there too. I got Rock E, Joe Cool, and Adam Sky. I put you to the back of the line just because you did no and you knew better.
All right, I'll just say one thing on what you just said. Should we like ban him or whatever? They've banned other people before, so why not, right? Or it's up to the platforms, and now it's up to the people. Are you gonna watch it? Are you gonna entertain it? Now it's choice back in the people's hands, I guess.
If you want to just talk crazy stuff and get your own platform.
This is what some have done. This is what some have done. Or they go to Rumble. Rumble's a pretty open format for that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
I'll tell you, too, printers are cheap, too. Printers are cheap. The only thing now, with the internet, right? So you can do your own pamphlets at home and hand them out, JW style. You can go actually knocking on doors. Of course, watch out for those trespassing signs. But when it comes, I'm serious, but this isn't inaccurate. You literally have that ability in the United States, right? The no soliciting sign, the no trespassing sign is a real thing, right? You actually have to respect that. That's the law. Okay. But you have the right to go out and preach your message. And you can do this by printing up flyers or whatever, however you do that. But the internet is a special thing here, okay? Like I mentioned before, ICANN is a private company that basically runs all the domains that you'll find. Google, GoDaddy, all that stuff are registered through ICANN. But then you've got the networks themselves, and the networks are your like cable company. HughesNet would have been, and back in the day, I don't even know what all of the different ones are.
HughesNet, now Starlink. All that other
Starlink is a private company, so
its own internet. Oh yeah,
those are private internet providers. Those are networks, right? And you have to be respectful of whatever their terms of conditions are. So you have terms of condition, about 4 or 5 of them before you even step onto a panel. Right now that you're on this panel, obviously it's Sarah's terms and conditions as well. So as we entertain our publishers, they're going to want obviously their advertisers or their bosses to accept that we are here too. You have to respect the terms and conditions all the way down. That is not free speech. And so when it comes to individuals like the guy we're talking about, I know Destiny's caught a lot of flack about this stuff. A lot of right-wingers catch a lot of flack. Everybody catches flack, right? At that point, obviously now we're having a conversation about political speech. condoning violence on pretty much every platform it is frowned upon, but when you actually give directives, that's when the platform, or I should say publisher, will shut it down pretty much immediately. Not even like hate speech words, talking about actual directives, right? Hey guys, go do this thing. That's when the publishers themselves will shut that shit down. Typically, they don't always do that, but they are the publishers, right? So then at that point, then the publishers are carrying that responsibility. If something happens, in my opinion, a publisher would be more responsible or held to the liability standard if they don't shut it down. But at the same time, do they have the right of free speech? Sure, right? Absolutely. A publisher, and a lot of people won't agree with me on this because they say it's a company. Companies shouldn't have free speech. Well, you know what? If we're going to go about it like that, well then states and cities shouldn't have free speech rule. I'm not about the home rule. I'm not about states' rights. Let's go free all the way if we're going to do that. Right?
Yeah, I completely agree.
This definitely dances around 230 for real. I don't know if you guys want to go that route though.
Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
the responsibility.
Let's let Tiberius jump in here.
Let me hit the last topic real quick, just because I've been hanging out for a while. Look, when it comes to like being triggered and actually like responding to different words, I split hairs here. I'm not gonna act like there's not certain things people can tell me that's gonna piss me the hell off, right? And to kind of back up what Sarah was saying earlier, I think a lot of the power is in choosing who you give power to. Because there's a hell of a difference between some, schmuck off the street that's just like, yo, I don't like you. And you're like, all right, cool. I don't like you either. Versus somebody, it's like, that dear friend that you just don't have that agreement with, where it's like, yo, Connor, what are you doing over here? You hanging out with some weird people. It's just like you got to have that chat. And of course, some of those are big. So I'm not going to act like words don't mean anything. I'm not going to act like everything just rolls off my back, because it sure don't.
How about little dick? Does little dick bother you?
It doesn't bother me at all. But, hey, whatever. Hey, whatever works. No, look, it's very clear that people have their sensitivities. It tells a lot about them, but I don't try to rub it in, because that's just how you watch everybody fall apart anyway. The 230 conversation, I think, is real here, though. I am seriously worried about the power that we have given these platforms, because I think they're skirting legal doctrine. On one level, they're using publishers. Excuse me, how do I phrase this? They're using publishers' legal doctrine to defend the things that they want to see, like Hasan saying some stupid shit, and Twitch doesn't get in legal ramifications. But at the same time, anytime they get hit for being a publisher, they're like, oh, we're actually a platform and we allow for free speech. And it's just like, no, y'all are full of shit. So I don't know how to fix this. I have talked about this for the last 5 years on the internet.
I see the loophole they're exploiting.
It's
the fact that they're trying to roll the responsibility on whoever's putting that on there. And then if there's a problem, then they go back, they'll take it down, and then they'll do whatever kind of investigation stuff on it.
I generally find that they've made it perfectly to where they suffer no legal ramifications, and it all has to be civil. And let's be real, this is one of the biggest problems I have with modern society. Lawyers aren't affordable. If I'm the average person and I actually want to take a suit against you, how much is that actually going to cost me to punish you for doing some crazy shit?
Yeah, people don't think about that.
Thousands. Yeah, like my power, my tool as an individual civilian is just gone. And that's deeply concerning to me as well when it comes to 230.
Well, unless you can get into like there are foundations and stuff where they'll give you either cheaper type of or you can, like, what is it, what is that group? There's an advocacy. There's a lot of advocacy groups out there but it would have to be something that tapped into what their belief system is and that they would want to stand on. Right. So,
I want to add to it, because I think they separated us in school into different groups. When I say this, I'm saying
I was in the gifted,
school,
talented. Were you?
Yeah, they could have taught us different things, more about the law. Like, they gave us these tiny little touches, and if you were interested, you would take more classes, your selectives, whatever. But I feel like this is where it was to our detriment, and that's what keeps us separated. They have to have lawyers to interpret the information. Now, if you went and you actually started reading the laws and studying it and trying to understand what's going on and filed it yourself, it would be a lot cheaper.
Wait.
It is a very technical field. Even just filing the paperwork alone can be very intricate in the world of the law, right?
Exactly.
You have to
That's why
like
you gotta
file
study
very
it. Yeah.
specifically, and you have very specific timelines and your process serving and all those things. Now, what the courts do offer is most of them that I've seen offer a little room where it has like legal aid, and they actually have lawyers in there that will help you filling out paperwork and kind of the process mode, but they're not going to help you with the law, right? That's not their job. They're not going to help you file what you need to, like, in terms of how you write it. They'll just help you with the process and ensuring that you get a process server, you file it this way, you put this on this, you put that on that. That's all they help you with. But it's, in terms of the law, they won't.
Point too.
Yeah.
Because my point is that as individuals, the responsibility to understand this falls on us, or we have to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
no,
all I'm
that
saying.
actually, that's
Well,
that's
but
that's
hold on though.
I wanna
Hold
stay
on
there.
though. If you need your car serviced and you're not a mechanic yourself, you have to pay money to have your car serviced, and even that can be thousands of dollars. To change your fucking tire can be hundreds of dollars. To change your oil and replace your air filter and all of these other very basic things that most of the average male at one point in time used to all know how to do. Now
They
they
learned
don't
that in
know.
school.
But they
Back in the day, they did. They don't teach nothing no
or
more.
their father taught them. I mean, my dad taught me some pretty basic shit. But the if I don't know how to if I don't know how to replace my roof, that's going to cost me thousands of dollars. Okay, so being a lawyer is a very particular trade, just the same as a doctor, as a mechanic, as a plumber. And all of these, I just had my water heater replaced, $3,000. So feel free to send donations to help sponsor my fucking water heater. That finally it was like, hey, it's been over 10 years now. Boop, time to go. So yeah.
I want to crack back in this for a second.
Yep.
Yeah, the first part is as a guy who's been in the trades, respect that a lot of us, we cost a lot of money. An AC system is ridiculously expensive. Thank you, United States government. But we're going to table that conversation for another day. What concerns me, and maybe this is pushback, maybe it's not, is that if my legal rights are challenged, right? Let's just say I get on the wrong side of a cop, but he totally goes over the bag and he puts me in jail when he shouldn't. Like, a lawyer is my only legitimate legal defense outside of defending myself. We all know how well that goes. I think there's a serious level of concern here to where it's like, I don't have a right to a doctor. I don't have a right to, I don't have a right to AC. I don't have a right to anyone repairing my house. But there's a level where it's like, do I have a right to have my free speech defended? I don't know if we do, but I think we should. And that's a huge conversation for me, man. Because
you do.
Yeah, go ahead.
You do. So you have a right to have your free speech defended. Again, that would be the government, right? So if a publisher decides that they don't want to publish you, that wouldn't dictate whether you can say what you want to say, right? When it comes to free speech, though, whether something is criminally applicable, right? Whether they say, okay, that's inciting words. They have to provide you with an attorney if you can't afford one.
But that's only if they charge me, right? Like it's not if that's kind of the issue is that if you were actually to sue the government, right? Like you got to provide your own lawyer, you got to do all that legal proceeding
for
yourself.
suits.
And
And
that takes away a huge amount of your power when your legal expert, which is effectively a cartel, which is the part where I get really pissed off, is lock, stock, and barrel behind something you can't afford.
Well, that's the First Amendment, but also the Second Amendment, right? So this is where people, unfortunately, throughout the many years, 250, over 250 now, the people have allowed their government to cede their power away from them. So your right to petition, right? It's held in the First Amendment, and it's held there for a reason. But the right to petition is the ability to file suits or complaints and that sort of thing, right? But the petitioning part is a learned process, if you will, you're going to at least need to know how to read and write if you're going to be able to do it formally, because you can't literally just walk in and say, hey, I want to sue these police officers over here in this city, in this county, this state, whatever. You can't do that. You can't just say it, right? You can't just go in and here's the judge and you just say the words. No, it doesn't work like that. So you, like Sarah was saying, the filing takes a lot of homework. The understanding of the rules, the actual court rules, which is technically law, but it's a separate portion of the law. The court rules, rules of civil procedure, rules of criminal procedure.
And that's the stuff we have to be individually.
You have to know how to file that.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that. What I'm trying to get at is I'm just poking the panel on. Does the affordability when it comes to lawyers just decrease our power as the average buying citizen to the point where we have a problem? Like,
absolutely.
Okay, cool. If I can get it, if people are agreeing with me on that, then I don't have to, fight you all on anything.
We're agreeing on it for sure. The only way around it is to know it yourself. You got to know it yourself.
Well, much like what Sarah was saying about the automotive industry, right? So you end up ceding some of your liability when you more or less buy or repair your own vehicle. Like if you're going to do the work on the vehicle yourself, obviously the manufacturers aren't going to say, okay, well, you know what? You did all this work on this vehicle. We're going to call it our vehicle still, and we're going to help you out with the repairs and stuff. No, it doesn't work like that. So you take it to the backyard mechanic because you know that all that liability is gone. Well, the court works kind of the same way, right? So they're a company. A lot of people don't realize this. The United States is a company. It's always been a company. Entity. Yeah, it's always, even though technically
it's not supposed to be.
Up until like the 1800s, it wasn't a corporate entity. It was like, I forget, 1780s or something like that. They actually made it a real corporate entity, just like the ships out at the sea. But it was technically basically the same thing. It's the company, right? This we are the lowest level of representative of the company. But what that means is that if, like, at it on a ship, right, and we all do what the captain says, well, mutiny happens because the captain doesn't treat his crew members correctly, right? And then what happens? A new captain still has to be chosen. This is why I'm not an anarchist. I really do believe that rule of law works.
Base, but super base. Let's go.
Let me let Kraut make his exit. He wants to head out. So, Kraut, your final thoughts to the panel, sir, and thanks for coming tonight.
Thank you, Sarah. But that's
get it.
Yeah, that's not my name.
German lives matter. I'm German too.
Yeah, German Irish, but German's got a nice ring to it. Not all Germans.
Italian lives matter, prick.
Yeah, ILM.
Tomato lives matter. Let's start there, and
Tomatoes lives definitely matter. Yeah, I think there was confusion on society accepting whatever we say and the government accepting whatever we say. I think in order to support the amendment, any amendment, you need to understand why it was written. And I know why a lot of the amendments were written, including the First Amendment. That's why I stand behind it. I don't think anybody should argue that, whether they're for the affirmative or against it, unless they know why it was written. But other than that, I mean, that's just really all I got.
Why was it written?
I'm sorry?
Why was it written?
To stop tyranny. Like, so it's hard to put into words, but so we all know the British were tyrannical, and they would lock you up if you said something they didn't like. Hence why we got the First Amendment. That's the most basic way I can say it. That's why the First and Second Amendment, literally, they go hand in hand. The same reason we got the Second Amendment is literally because we beat the British, a tyrannical government.
Every law ever written in the United States is a library of books and a library of stories, etc. Every single law. That's what I love about it.
Are you saying stories can't be fact, or
no? I was just saying like our laws, like every law that's ever been written has like so many stories and its history, and it's amazing. Like in the military, every time you see something that says like that you like something that's in the books, like safety law, like we got a big thick book and it's all like safety of what you should and shouldn't do and how you should go about doing things, gloves
Like
and PPE, and that you should wear. Every single one of those has something that somebody did stupid, got hurt, and now it's in there.
Yeah. Now I'm fixing to get off. Now, did I
That's what she said.
explain correctly why the First Amendment? There's several there's only one First Amendment, but there's several things written in there. Was I accurate in depicting why speech was involved in the First Amendment?
Kinda, yeah. It was about
I made it in the basic form.
Yeah. It was more about
hey guys, we could say what we want to say, and we can actually tell the truth publicly, and we can actually stand behind it. I mean, it says it right there.
Hey,
until someone, it's all fun and games until someone gets on the mic, on a loudspeaker or on a panel and says, "Hey, you know what? I think it's okay for us to be intimate with children."
Never that.
You just had to
Now things start to get a little crazy.
Say goodnight. We got 2 more panels hanging backstage.
Yeah,
You wanna come up?
that's
Yo.
what would that be? A fallacy? Like to try to incorporate
Would that be considered freedom of speech?
Yeah, it is.
Technically,
yeah,
I guess
it is.
German lives matter, but
No,
American lives matter.
I don't think it would. And let me explain myself.
Actually, it is.
Well,
it's considered free speech.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
why that's why MEPS is a thing.
But that's disgusting. I'm not going to talk.
Yeah, well,
So,
you
let
just
me-
you just started a whole nother panel with that one, and this is what I was going to start with, but I figured I would like.
I
go
think I
toward
might
the end.
actually stay on for a little bit longer. But let
I
me
have a lot
explain-
more scenarios than that, but we got to go.
Calvin wants to say his goodbyes. Let's let Calvin go. Calvin.
Yeah, to the subject at hand, I am for free speech, even if it's hate speech. I think the responsibility then depends on what the speech is. Like, if you're telling someone to actually commit violence, I don't think that's necessarily protected speech. All speech is not protected speech. I heard someone or some politician say the antidote for hate speech is more speech, specifically counter speech. That's the way I see this thing, that we as the people should, to the person at hand, Mr. Hassan, cancel him. That's our power in that situation. And the last thing I would say is, when it comes to free speech, everyone does have free speech, but you want to also look at the platform or what you're executing your free speech. Like, free speech at your job, there's no free speech at your job or on a platform such as this. It's regulated by other people and things of that nature. But if you're out in public or whatever, of course, free speech is there for you all day, every day. And that's how I see it.
Do you think that someone getting on a platform, a big platform, and saying it's okay to, I don't want to say it again because it's bad, but I needed to make that point. You know what I just said before. Let's not try to say it again. Do you consider that violent words that are violent?
I'm sorry. Is it you're going to have to give me your
I just don't want to say it again because it's pretty extreme. It's okay to be with kids.
Young people.
Yeah. I'm trying to clean it up, Tomato. I'm trying.
I got you.
Okay, but my question is, guys, the question is, do you think that is violent?
Do I think it's violent?
Yes.
I think saying
illegal.
No. Do you think it's violent?
To say that,
pretty sure anybody could.
I don't violent. I wouldn't say put violent.
I don't think that's violent.
You don't think it's violent? Okay, now let me articulate why it is.
To talk about doing things with little people.
James, let me step in.
I'm gonna now let me articulate why it is violent. If you say it on a big platform to people who are already like that, then I go, oh, it is okay. And then they go out and hurt a kid. That's how this stuff works.
Right. Now, that's what I was going to
Hold
say.
on. Well, that comes back to the duty of care. Calvin, if you wanted to head out, you're most welcome. I know you. Those were your final thoughts. Most people shouldn't ask questions when somebody's making their exit. Like, hold on, let me just open up this whole nother can of worms while you're about to make your exit.
Yeah, I gotta dip out a little bit too.
Yeah, you should come on board, James.
I don't agree with that rationale that it's violent, but it definitely should not be permissible.
Why?
It's a cultural thing.
Wait a minute. It's free. I think it's free speech.
Right.
But I'm sure it goes against some TOS on a platform such as this.
But it shouldn't be said because why?
Because it's criminal. That's criminal.
Why?
Because you're encouraging someone
Because
to break the
it's
law.
our culture. It's our culture.
I'm encouraging someone to break the law.
Yeah.
Our culture says it's not right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the only
Our
reason.
culture says it's the culture. What?
I think.
All right.
I think
You
your
said-
term. I think your
In
term
different
violent.
countries, you can get away with
You
that.
guys are
Here in America,
discouraging around it. You know the point that was made.
James,
you want
come
us
on,
to
guys.
be violent. You want us to equate it to violent. I don't think that's the right word. That's my. I think
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it
It's not the right
is it
word.
very bad for someone to do that on a big platform?
Exactly. Yes.
Why?
Because it's children. You're encouraging people to do stuff with children.
That's the violent part. That's violent.
Do you understand? James? We said we agree with you. We
Yeah.
just having a disagreement on the term. Let's not,
The term. What do you mean term?
the phrase you want us to say is violent. I think
No, I said the whole thing of what the person said. You said they shouldn't say it because it would hurt. It would influence someone to hurt kids. That is what I'm trying to say is violent. That is what makes it violent because of what it does.
But you asked me if it's violent. I said no, it's not. I wouldn't consider it violent, but I consider the behavior it wrong. So I think
Why is it wrong?
Okay.
Because my culture says it's wrong.
You guys are not letting me.
Hold on.
I think I'm burning out. I'm burning out.
Let me
blame me here.
So
I
that
don't
I
blame
can
you.
explain this from James.
Couple more minutes, guys, and I gotta go.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
have.
Clay, let me answer James.
Well, no, because hold on, because you guys don't know what you're talking about. When you're talking about the Latin, which is what we're going to talk about if we're going to talk about the law, violencia is violence. Okay, when we're talking about what's violent, that's the Latin, that's the law.
Yeah,
okay?
Clay, you don't know what I was going to say.
Hold on. Don't interrupt. When we're talking
James,
about,
hold on.
Let Clay go, please. I gotta go.
Leaving already anyway. Hold on, because
All
you
right,
guys
sir,
do not
go
know
ahead.
what
Go on your
you're
diatribe.
talking about the law. You do not know what you're talking about. Okay, perversio.
You don't even know what I was going to
No,
say.
shut up.
Come on, dude.
Just let him talk. Let him
I
talk.
don't like when people make claims that are untrue.
Dude. You guys have no idea what you're talking about. Okay,
You don't know what I was going to say.
Shut
Stop
up,
saying
dude.
that.
Let him,
Just go on
let
with
him
it.
talk.
No, you just
Stop saying that dumb
for
shit.
nothing. Shut up.
Stop
Sounds
saying
like
that dumb
we're
shit.
all being gay.
Tomato, fierce and red, juicy curves, fire ahead.
This message is sponsored in part by.
Stop being gay. Finish your thought, Clay.
Okay,
Tiberius.
perversio is the Latin. Okay, it means to corrupt, pervert. Okay, to pervert is like a sexual act that is to corrupt. Specifically, if we're talking about the youth, it is not violence. It's a different word altogether. It's pervert. Okay? It's not
I like
violence.
that
It's
word
pervert.
more. I like that word more.
All right.
I'd like to get
Now, James, I would like to answer you since you asked me the question anyway. Apparently, people assume what I'm going to say. I guess they have precognition. So the difference between a word or even